Hello, and welcome to D4, where I, Dustin,
And I, Devin, Codium, a 5th edition game of Dungeons.
and Dragons.
Oh,
And as you might be noticing, we are back at remote play this week. And for transparency, there was a positive COVID case despite our safety measures, and we want to ensure the safety of our players and our crew, both physically and mentally. We will hopefully be back in the studio next week, but this is the world we live in, and we want to thank you all for being understanding and patient with us so that we may continue to deliver a quality show every week.
And since you all loved him so much, and his wonderful character, Shurvi, and this decision has nothing to do with him still being in town and her story being incomplete at all. Has nothing to do with that. We can say that we listened to all of you, the fans, and we decided to bring the amazing and wonderful KP from KP11 Studios back so that you, the fans, can enjoy him and his wonderful changeling bard Shurvi for one more week. Thank you, KP, for joining our table.
thank you guys for having me back. Thank you so much for saying that my character was actually loved, and that was the reason you brought me back, and not because we did not get the chance to complete the story. And yay!
And without further ado,
Let us immerse ourselves into the chronicles
of D4.
And we're back. Last time, on Demiurge Daughter in a Discordant Dimension. The group individually came out of their separate visions as their perspective warped and twisted into the unknown chaos that is the plane of limbo. As they are surrounded by scattered and raging undead revenants, they spent a majority of the time trying to understand the nearly inconceivable world around them, as they all tried different methods to figure out how to move, how magic works through chaotic manipulation, how to stabilize sanctuaries and manipulate the ever-changing, volatile, chaotic matter around them.
In the distance, they are led by a beacon of pleasing synesthesia in the world of discordant chaos. A place where you hear smells, see sound, and smell color. When they all arrive, they find a one-woman band, changeling bard, named Shurvi. The BFGs, unsure of what is real, share most of what their visions are in the mist, and learn that Shurvi is a traveler across many worlds, similar to Orkira, and Freely, and Averin, and is trying to reconnect with her long-lost family. Across their journey through the Elsewhere, they encounter many strange things. Constant shifting hazardous materials that bombard them, nearly killing Seisha and Harold. A living spell of mass cure wounds befriends them, all before unknowingly and painfully sacrificing itself in order to heal them. They meet two sentient rocks that were just having a private conversation and find it rude that they impeded on that conversation of them just trying to find a place to chill, all right? Just mind your business. and as well as a myriad of other things that they encounter. Eventually, they find a lithe monk fighting a blue toad-like creature they learn to be called a slod, where they watch the monk literally manipulate the matter around them to aid him in the fight, as Shurvi locks the creature in place, and V aids in slaughtering it before things get out of hand.
They learn the odd-looking injured man is a Githzerai named Glarthuk, a monk of Shrukt-Lor, the great monastery city stronghold of the Githzerai that live within Limbo. He is wary of them and distrustful of their obvious inner chaos, juxtaposed to his extremely disciplined and sharply focused calm mind, which, he illustrates, can have sway over the chaos around them. They learn that the only rest one can achieve in the plane of chaos is within one self. After many attempts to stabilize the chaos into a sanctuary, Harold is able to focus his mind just barely enough to replicate the cleanest and nicest public bathroom he has ever seen as he recalls something from Waterdeep. The BFGs, or the Bathroom Floor Gang, find the first moment of respite in the chaos since they have entered the mists within the High Forest as they sleep on the cold tile bathroom floor like a bunch of burnout teens that partied too hard at a psychedelic rave.
After resting, the party follows the monk to this colossal fortress monastery tower. They see it as protected by an army of chained and mind-controlled slod of every color. Upon entering, the Githzerai warns them to keep up and to not get lost as the adamantine building constantly shifts around them like a puzzle cube, entrapping them in darkness as they move swiftly through the entrapping labyrinth together. On the other side, they found a massive multi-leveled monastic training compound where a full city community of Githzerai practiced sharpening their focus and skills of both physical and mental capacity. The area was perfectly attended to with attention to balance and harmony in design, layout, and practice, where Glarthk kept reiterating that it all starts from within.
The BFGs and Shurvi are then escorted to a private room while their monk guide ventures off to see the Anarch, who speaks for Mener Ag, the Githzerai leader that knows how to map the ever-changing endless chaos of Limbo and where Shurvi may find what she is looking for. While in the empty monastery room, the ornate wooden walls, the party watches as the sunken area of sand manifests into the images and creations of their own thoughts. While they wait, many of them reflect on their past and familial connections as Shurvi introduces them all to sand creations of 3 of the 4 bardic found mothers, as she cannot remember the last. Seisha does the same with her fathers in kind, while Harold stares down at a mask that mimics the Harlequin's, and Vinley stares silently at a mimicry of her own mother.
As they prepare for what they might face and begin to play in the sandbox, Glarthk returns with the feminine Anarch as she connects minds physically with everyone besides Seisha.
After asking everyone if they are ready to face the reflections of their true selves, the sands beneath them instantly solidifies into glass layered over a polished silver floor, and that is where we pick up tonight's story.
You hear Glarth speak up, and also speaks within your mind as you have the telepathic bond connected with him. This process will show you something that will not be easy for you to accept. However, it is the first step in understanding oneself, and with practice in self-reflections, you can possibly learn to quell the chaos that lies within you. Prove you are capable of doing this, and the Anarch Shastk will speak on behalf of Minyar Ag, the Great Zerai, if you are found worthy of his respect and knowledge. As you focus on yourselves in the looking glass, listen to Anarch Shastk as she will try to help you with the enlightenment we have learned over eons. Shall we begin?
Can we get some water or something? Can we have to start now? Is it an immediate thing? Because I could probably give it a week or two. This place seems pretty nice, and I'm sure y'all make.
Let's just get this over with, Harold.
I would like to go find my family if possible, so maybe a little bit sooner than a week. Now would be nice.
And you see the Anarch hold out a hand as a glass, a goblet, kind of in a clay jar, floats over to it, past her and towards you, Harold.
Seisha walks over to Harold and just kind of takes one of his hands.
It's okay. We can do this.
We can.
We have to, Harold.
And Harold, you see that in that, clay goblet, it's water.
I will take the water and just chug it unceremoniously. Just anything to buy time at this point. And I will nod my respect and awkwardly walk back over with it and hand it over.
In the chaos that is the duality of ourselves, there is the material self and the spiritual or shadow self. In our material self, we do everything for survival, whether that be literally through fighting off the chaos of the world around us so that we may live, or metaphysically through sustaining our ego through our lineage and legacy. In this, we focus on the world around us and the mutual impact we have with it and on it through wealth, status, friends, family, occupation, and more. Where the material world is connected to our five senses, the Githzerai focus on purity through harmonizing the chaos of the world around us. This starts from within, with your ego, id, and superego. The manifestations of your spiritual and shadow self. Where the material self focuses on survival, the spiritual self focuses on purpose and understanding. However, those are different for each individual. Only you can fully understand yourself and find your purpose, but also only after you have shed away everything hiding it. Now look down and see your true self.
Okay.
Can I get a summary of that? That kind of all went over my head.
I look down. Oh, I look down.
Okay. Glarth speaks up, speaking to you, Shurvi, and goes, "Pay attention. The Anarch speaks so that you may know enlightenment, but she speaks of the duality of the material self and the spiritual self, and you are now reflecting upon the second." And as you look down into the reflection of the mirror, you see everyone around you in their normal form, as you see them regularly. Everyone but yourself. You, looking at yourself, you see someone or something that is foreign and almost alien to you staring back at you. What you see is a true manifestation of your inner conflict and chaos. Your deepest and probably darkest emotions made manifest and scarred across your body. However, these are not the surface emotions that are easily identifiable, like anger of betrayal, lust for power, or sadness of loss. No, these are the emotional onion layers deep beyond those surface feelings. The catalyst of the blanket emotions that protect you from seeing the truth of the real raw emotions that you hide from yourself and refuse to face through guilt, fear, blame, grief, vices, or even ego. They manifest as abstract and alien concepts similar to the true forms of divine beings. Some may see Feelings lost through abandonment show as being hollow and empty, or a hole in the chest where the heart should be, or even ethereal in form as you were forgotten and neglected entirely altogether. So everyone, think deep and hard about what you have been through, from the beginning and up until now, how your life has shaped you, broken you, and manipulated you into what you had to become to hold off against what lies deep inside. You do not have to face your reflections if you do not wish to, but if you do, tell us what you see when you look at the chaos inside of yourself and why. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Get it, Katie.
Okay.
The silence was deafening.
So, I think Seisha looks down into this mirror, and her form kind of swirls, and almost like a drop hits the center of mass for her reflection, and as it moves out, she sees the following. A thin wisp of a woman with swirling red hair and sunken eyes. Her expression appears tired and frightened, but her jaw is set, and there is determination in her eyes. She is tired and exhausted with fighting against the growing darkness within and surrounding her, but she knows she can't give up, and she refuses to let the Elder Eye take her. She knows it's her hope and faith in others that brings light to the world of those around her, and she refuses to let that be stripped away from herself. On her forehead are drawn three closed eyes, drawn on with what appears to be a black ichor with a shifting silver sheen to it. This represents her connection to Golor. The ichor is reminiscent of mother's milk, swirling in place and constantly moving. Seisha sees this as a reminder that she knows the tie to the stone is dangerous but necessary, both for information to fight the Elder Eye and for making her feel like she has worth to the group with her incredible memory. She believes the cost is worth the reward. Her face and body look beaten and bloodied. She's taken a lot of damage and pain on her journey, and the pain and her suffering have left marks on her soul. She wears a softly glowing, golden Grecian-style gown that turns to rolling fog at the knees. Around her neck rests the holy symbol of Agma, and over her heart is the pin of the Emerald Enclave. Rather than being metal, however, the scroll of Agma is a small vellum scroll with with golden caps. The Emerald Enclave pin is actually a leaf with vines splayed across her breast. These attributes are the positive things she finds comfort in. Agma and what she believes to be her mother's influence are represented in the gown. The tokens have taken these new forms because they're so real to her, and they are the anchors that she sets her beliefs by, not merely symbols to let others know who she is. Her wings are out. Each is the usual feather to mist in appearance, but instead of a feathered edge, the outer structure is an arm ending in a hand with an eye in it. She sees her divinity and the eye's influence in her radiant soul form. She believes she is still mostly herself, but cannot deny the encroaching corruption has a hold on her. Scattered across her body's skin are a quartet of names written out in Celestial. These are the names of the 4 innocents she killed at the docks. Also appearing is a scar that looks like the one over Voss's heart from where she stabbed him while controlled by the Illithid. These scars represent her greatest regrets, the guilt she will forever carry even if she suppresses the thoughts of them that are always a part of her. In her left hand is a scale. On one side, a heart made of cracked glass. On the other is a brain made of polished marble. The heart rests low as the heavier of the two. She sees this as a representation of how she follows her heart more than her mind. The cracks in the glass are indicative of her recent suffering and the devastating loss of people she loves. The marble symbolizes her strength of mind, something she has come to appreciate in her fight against the Hag's curse. Her right hand is bathed in golden light, with mist flowing down from her fingertips, but black tendrils are rising and undulating from a scar across her palm. Again, this is representative of her divinity. The scar is from where she clawed the eye from her palm in her recent confrontation with her solar. It represents her connection to him and the constant struggle to protect him from her curse. Behind her is the stained glass window of the BFGs, but each figure is altered. V is standing up straight in a stance of great confidence. Venli is clad in Seisha's armor. Harold is cracked. Boss's figure is in silhouette. And Orkira is outlined, but there's no glass inside that lead lining. Instead, there's a shaft of sunbeam coming through where she stands. Seisha is absent, but the Stone of Golor is in her place. Seisha feels like V has come into her own and understands who she is and the good things she deserves. V has become the strength of the group, not just physically, but emotionally as well. She believes Venli carries a lot of the same pain as Seisha, and that's why it's the Asmar's role to protect her from further harm at the hands of the world. Her anguish over attacking Harold, combined with her unspoken resentment of how he handled confronting Voss, has her feeling confused and guilty. Her relationship with the Bard is fractured right now. Not broken, but cracked. Orkira is gone, but the light she brought them is still with them. Voss. Seisha looks at the black figure, the void in her world. She wants to hate him for abandoning her, but, much like the case of her mother, Seisha buries the pain and rejection behind a belief that there was some greater reason. She knows Voss isn't always a good person, but she also believes he has good intentions. She feels the emptiness where she wishes she felt love. She believes he told her in a way that he cares, but she resents that he wouldn't just say it. She misses him and wants to hate him to make the pain of losing him lessen, but she can't. She feels like she failed him, that her inability to be trusted enough for him to open up to her is her fault, that if she hadn't spoken out in moments of hurt and anger, if she had been strong enough to resist the Illithid's command, he would still trust her and he would still be there. Seisha's absence is a product of her feeling of unworthiness. She believes that the group doesn't see her for what she is, a creature on the precipice of grace or ruin. She feels her only value in the group is, 1, her ability to gather information from the stone and usually withstand the side effects, and 2, being hopeful. On a table beside Seisha is a small bloom vase containing a wild rose and a columbine blossom, representing herself and Gariel. Beside that lays her mother's journal. It lays open to the page where Seisha was born, and her mother wrote about the love she had felt. The words have been crossed out, and an upside-down triangle filled with a counterclockwise swirl and the word liar are written over them in red ink. Seisha fears her mother is the goddess Lara, and that she has lost her, and that has left her lost in confusion and dread. She knows in her heart that if she's right, the goddess may never admit it. Seisha will never have confirmation or the mother's love she so desperately sought. As she faces this reflection, she's overcome with a sense of anger and self-pity.
As you stare deeper into this glass, looking upon your deep-seated emotional form, you see that you are not alone. You see all of those in the room around you, again, normal as you see them. However, they are not the only ones there that you see. At first, you expect it to be the manifestations of your solar, or possibly even Golor, or perhaps the innocents you have slain standing behind you that are just scars upon your body now. However, as you look into the embered, empty sockets of tens, if not thousands, and that expand into a sea of just souls, you know that behind you is none of the things that you had wanted to perceive before. You feel the weight of their stories, their misdeeds, and their sins. You look upon their mutilated bodies, tortured and burning with the embers of hellfire, as you now see the pain and burden of knowing a greater pit fiend's true name.
People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own souls. They will devote their lives to chaos and tempt death through adventuring, drown themselves with endless knowledge, partake in extreme revelry, even devote themselves to extreme regimens in the falsehood of believing it is positive growth. They do all of this because they do not have the will or courage to face their inner selves and believe that nothing useful could truly come out of their own souls teeming with chaos.
Who wants to go next?
I think I can go.
Okay. What does Vinley see when she looks upon the mirror?
As Finley approaches the mirror, she steals her expression in expectation of facing down the visage of herself twisted into the monstrous form of a lich once again. She takes a deep breath and lets her eyes rest on the smooth, silvery mirror surface. The breath escapes in a ragged sigh as she sees her reflection. A thin wisp of a girl stands before Vinley, with a matted nest of unkempt black hair. Looking up at her with bright green eyes through a never-ending stream of tears. She cries because of the pain she's been through, Vinley thinks, at the hands of her family, of Illitron, of the world, of her magic, and of herself. The stream of tears fall down her pale-skinned face across a field of scars, showing every ounce of abuse she has endured, and mixes with the rivers of black pulsing veins of sickening necrotic energy that threaten to engulf her entirely from the inside out. Just as her just as her desire for that power does. Vinley pities the vision, refusing to accept that this is her, thinking that this must be some kind of cruel trick, until her eyes rest on the girl as a whole. Not focusing on the face anymore, she sees the disturbing shadow behind the girl, gently and effortlessly relaxing his arms across her shoulders in what would be a protective or a caring gesture, if it wasn't for the shadow's gruesome grin stretched across his face. The shadow of Illitron's hand moves across the girl's left collarbone, proudly caressing an open wound carved into the girl just above her heart, in a way that screams at Vinley, "Look at what you did, Vinny." She realizes in that moment that the wound is a name written in Infernal. Davil's Star Song, the ever-present reminder that Vinley was willing to remove someone else's freedom of choice for her own survival. Vinley begins to silently panic, clenching her jaw tighter and tighter, threatening to shatter her own teeth as the vision overwhelms her. She thinks about her friends to try and calm herself, but that only gives way to Voss's words of warning that Vinley would cross any line to assure her own safety and gain ultimate power under the guise of safeguarding others. After all, what kind of person would attempt to sell another soul? Vinley accused herself. She begins hyperventilating, unable to catch up to the thoughts racing through her mind as she clutches the sides of her head, wanting to scream or to run. Run. That's what you do when things get too hard, isn't it, Vinny? You cut the ones you endangered off because they're just walking corpses. Pathetic. The shadow spits at her through a clenched, almost painful smile. Vinley shakes her head, not in refusal, but in clarity, as the shadow digging its hands into the girl's shoulder begins to twitch and jerk as its form changes into a more feminine shape. Her shape. Vinley gasps as she looks once again into her own eyes, now devoid of any ounce of compassion. Her pale skin now gray and riddled with signs of rot and decay. Or maybe you're the corpse, trying so desperately not to become like one of your little playthings. The shadow of herself then motions her hand towards the black handkerchief tucked into one of her pockets. Vinley begins whispering to herself, "No, I am alive. I am alive," over and over again as she collapses to the ground, touching the mirror. She can hear her own voice in her head laughing at her the way Illatron laughed at her the night she killed him. As the girl in the mirror reaches into her collar of her tattered linen dress and pulls free a large golden locket from the cloth. It sparkles and glistens more beautifully than anything Vinley has ever seen. The little girl opens it, revealing 3 shapes. A tiny sprig of a Jericho rose, as green and as lovely as ever. A string from a lute that hums a melody as gently as the summer winds. And finally, a soft blue silk-wrapped cocoon that vibrates with life beginning to change and evolve into something new and spectacular. Vinley's mind begins to race to try and comprehend what this girl is trying to tell her. She thinks of the people connected to each item. Fala gave that rose to her in a moment of weakness for Vinley, not out of pity, but out of worry for someone they cared about. Davil's lute string that played a song for Vinley that calmed her ever-growing anxiety that night in Ulavin. And Savard, the little insignificant bug that chose to stay with Vinley for its entire existence and beyond. Vinley thinks about her friends beside her and the people she cares for in Waterdeep, and accepts for the first time, in a way that cannot be ignored by her cold cynicism, that she exists both to protect them and to be protected by them, not out of duty or obligation, but because that is simply what you do for the people you love. The girl holds the locket to the edge of the mirror and whispers in harmony with Vinley, "We are alive."
To be solely focused on positivity is a philosophy and practice of hypocrisy, because you deny yourself the necessity of letting yourself truly feel and be your whole self. Your repressed emotions and turmoil will manifest itself eventually on its own accord if you do not control it by letting yourself feel and process all of the emotions that manifest within you. A song is meaningless if it is not truly born from the whole of your heart.
Who wants to go next?
I think.
They're gonna make somebody go.
Yeah. I think at this point.
I can go. Oh, you want to?
Okay. No, go. You go. Ah, there you go. Go.
All right. Mine is not as long. Forgive me. All right. So V looks, and at first glance, you might think you're looking at a giant angry bear in a dress. And that's not what it is. That's what you might think if you saw it from like a really far distance. You'd be like, what the heck is that? So she sees a woman who is larger than V actually is. Like, muscles are much bigger. She's just like a bigger, almost like a more beefier giant version of herself. Hair is completely unkept, looks like it's never been brushed a day in its life. Not that you should be brushing curly hair anyways. And it's got like a bunch of like twigs and leaves and like stuff stuck in it. She is wearing like this really nice dress, but it's like super ripped up and tattered, but it looks like it's from some of the most expensive cloth. Like, it's like this cream color with this covered in gold filigree. The fact that it's all tattered and worn shows that she doesn't. This is supposed to represent the fact that nothing will ever be good enough. It could be the nicest thing in the world, and there's always going to be something that's better. And she's not going to take the time to ever take care of it and make sure that it stays nice, because it's easily replaceable. And she looks like intensely very like angry. She's like that heavy huffing breathing, like maybe she just got out of a battle or something. Like this really intense, scary, really scary, like focused anger, and it's like very decisive. She's holding her grandmother's axe, but it's completely soaked in blood. It's just dripping. You almost don't even realize that's what like that it's that axe, because like you can't see the color. You can only really like to see the shape of it. And it's just, when that represents the fact that when V gets impulsive and she's angry, she feels like she could tear anything and anyone down that gets in her way without a second thought. And she pulls out of like a little pocket. The dress has pockets. A still beating heart. It's very large heart. Not like a human heart, like maybe a Goliath heart. It's insinuated that the heart's still beating, like it's alive somehow. And this represents the heart of her father, in the sense that she doesn't want to let him live, but she also doesn't want to let him die. But she also is always so angry and so upset and just wants to also like beat him at his own game, and she eats it. And everyone else looks exactly the same as they did that day.
So we know a lot about the deep-rooting emotions that arrive from your father. And it feels like a lot of this is having to deal with never feeling good enough in his eyes, but also fearing that she may one day also become like him. How does that manifest? What does that look like? How is, where does that stem from?
I can't think of a visual representation outside of a feeling and emotion.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of her anger and determination and the intensity and the size that she is to me, I felt like was sort of representative of like how big her father is and how she, feels like she needs to be bigger like him, but also doesn't want to be, but also wants to be. It's like it's a back and forth thing. So that was part of her being like large and muscular and like bear-like almost sort of look.
Sounds great. It's amazing. And you hear the Anarch speak up once again.
A glass is never half empty or half full. It is both and neither. It is simply refillable. A glass that is full cannot learn, and a glass that is empty cannot teach. The water is our experiences, and we learn from the experience that is the ever-flowing river of chaos that is our lives. You must find balance in yourself to find balance outside of yourself. To do this, you must let yourself feel the pain of chaos in its many forms, but also process those feelings from where they manifest inside ourselves.
Who would like to go next? You're muted.
Yes, I guess Shurvi will go up in front. And you see her looking into this water, and suddenly she's teleported. And you're seeing her through her perspective, through her eyes. And initially, what seemed like she was 5'6", 5'4", 5-ish. Suddenly, now the perspective shifts to a much shorter level, much lower level. You're almost like table height, which would put her at around 4'10"-ish. And you see her looking quite joyful at first, very happy, just on the ground, playing with some toys, when suddenly she looks up and she looks to be in like a tavern sort of situation, and then the door has opened, and in the distance you see 4 figures walking off. It's silhouetted, you can't quite tell what they actually look like. And the face of joy that she was having suddenly drops, and she goes, no, don't leave, no, hold up, please. And then she gets up wobbling at first and then starts walking towards the door. And as they can't hear her and keep moving, she starts picking up her pace, starts running at a certain point. And as she goes and she tries to reach for them, you see her grab on. And as she grabs, it almost feels like she's grabbing onto the fabric of reality or space, and it tears. And each time she grabs and tears, she seems to be teleported to a new location, getting more and more desperate. You see the first tear jumping into a forested area, the next one jumping into this very mystical desert with floating rock, another one going through what almost seems like space, and each one pulls her to a different location, and she's getting more and more desperate. What you also notice now is that as she's tearing at these locations, you see her visage tear along with it. Each time her features change. She's now what once was a almost a tiefling looking girl changes into an elf, then into a green goblin, and it's each one just constantly shifting her look as she's having to adjust to different locations, to different scenarios, getting more and more desperate, never quite reaching the people that she's wanting to reach. Ever more, they seem to be just going further and further away from her, and she just starts crying, going, please, just, no, take me with you. Just take me with you. Don't leave me here, please. Please. No. And you just see her finally trip over something and fall on the ground. And when she gets up, she's back again in that tavern. And then when she looks at herself in the mirror, she doesn't even have a feature. Her face is blank. And she starts patting her face, trying to remember what she actually looked like on that day when they had left, not knowing what her features originally looked like, whether they would ever recognize her if they saw her again, whether she would recognize them. She seems to have this image of them, but doesn't feel like it was real. Maybe it wasn't how they actually look like. Maybe in all these adventures, they might have crossed paths and she hadn't known, and they didn't see her and she didn't see them. And you just see her continue to clutch her face, trying to speak, trying to cry, but no sound coming out because she doesn't remember her original voice. She doesn't understand why she can't remember. It's been so long. And you just see her on the ground, shaking as if though she's crying without noise, without sound, without any physical emotions manifesting. When all of a sudden, a single note cuts through. And she looks forward, and then she sees in the distance a lute. And she walks up to it, and picking that lute up, you see eyes form on her face. And then as she starts crawling forward once more, in the distance, she sees another note add on, a flute this time. And out there in the distance, she sees the instrument, and then she goes up and picks that up and adds it to her back. And then with that, a nose forms on her face. And then now she's not so much crawling, but kind of stumbling forward. And then you hear the beat of drums. She sees those in the distance and grabs it, attaches it to her body with that lips form. And then finally, as she's walking forward, more and more of these instruments come to her. A harp, a kazoo, and each instrument adds not only onto her body, but features back onto her face, and notes come together and finally form a symphony. And you see Shurvi again in her current form, in her current, what she sees herself now as. And except this time, what she had initially just teal colored hair, just almost silver in color, is now fiery red. She has markings on her face, just showing the stories of the places that she's been. And you hear in the background the symphony at her back of the song that her mother, all four of them, would play for her. And then you just hear her look forward and go, one more step. And then walk through the door once more. And that's where it goes.
Some lessons leave wounds, causing ourselves to create shields or masks to cover our pain. But these protective covers do not bandage or mend our wounds. Beneath our shields and our masks is our shadow. An impulsive, wounded, sad, or isolated part that we generally try to ignore, hoping that if we bury it enough, we can destroy it. However, the shadow can be a source of emotional richness and vitality, and acknowledging it can be a pathway to healing and an authentic life.
There's only one left.
Oh God, here we go. For all of you at home, I'm a pretty emotional person, so if I get emotional, I apologize.
Don't apologize.
So, Harold, and all these other people wrote these really beautiful things, and I told myself that I wouldn't be authentic if I didn't just do it off the top of my head. So here we go with what tiny amounts of notes I have. Harold Harold hesitates. He's clearly the last one that wants to look down. And he looks down. And as he looks down, he sees himself, but his smile is stretched much wider than normal. And he looks just absolutely happy. And he's walking, and he notices that he's walking not on the ground, but on music. It is actual stretched music going miles and miles. And he recognizes the notes immediately and knows the name of the song. It's the Dance Macabre. And he sees this grinning face marching along. And it's almost like a play with all these people with him. And you recognize these people. And they're you guys, but they're all you as yourselves. But as the music goes on, you all slowly drift further and further away. And he continues to march to the beat. And you see him starting to drag and getting slower. And the music's getting slower and darker. It starts to play in minor. And he reaches up, and you realize that he doesn't have his mask on his shoulder. He pulls the smiling face off of his face. And behind that, as he puts it on his shoulder, everything starts to change. Behind that is a muddled porcelain that doesn't have distinct features anymore, forgotten from something he can't quite put together. Whoever this is, there is no face. There is no memory of who this person was. Just the pieces. And just like porcelain, it's shattered all over. And you see a red liquid holding them together. And as each piece falls, he struggles to keep them in place while keeping the beat and the music. You notice that in his back, as his clothes change to those of a purple jester, just like those of the person that used to be his best friend, stretched from his back are blades, long and kind of bunched up all in one place in his back. You immediately would recognize Boss's knife. You would recognize Matt's, you see the same weapons that Matt uses. You recognize weapons that hung on the walls of the Castellaners. You see a fork that his father favored. All of these things are jammed into his back so deep that he's struggling to move. And his jester clothes, once again, they are absolutely reminiscent of the Harlequin. From his hands, it's weeping blood that leaves these trails of notes behind him. And he's struggling to keep all of this together at once. As he continues to go, he sees a broken harp in the distance that you can tell he looks at it like he really wants to be able to play, but there's just something keeping him from it, and he continues to march past it. You see now there are chains that whip down and catch him in the shoulders, jolting his body, and they all stretch up to different things. One of the chains is made of vines and leaves and has bugs crawling across them, and stretched to a fey creature, the one that has given him his powers most recently. But the muddled features and such make it hard to see. It's more silhouetted than it actually existing. There's another one that stretches and it looks like it has multiple designs. Some of them are scientific, some of them are magical, and they stretch to Averin, who's holding it but doesn't seem like he cares too much, and it seems to be in a conversation with somebody else. You notice that there's one that stretches up that has thorns all the way through it to the rose, who's gripping it tightly and twisting and is whispering to somebody you can't see. And finally, you see one for the harpers, who look confused and as if they're trying to find where he is. You see him begin to oh. You see Pixel in a cage in the woods, reaching for him. And he knows it's his fault. On the other side of the music, you see the Castellaners reaching for him as they're being led to the gallows. And he knows it's his fault. And as he begins to step over, the bodies stretched across the music. No matter how close he gets to the end, it seems to stretch further. And there's one small body on the road. And he doesn't want to look. But he knows it's Petunia. And he knows it's his fault. And Harold grits his teeth and tries to push past it all, and he grabs the mask so tight it almost breaks, and he shoves it back over the porcelain. And where the grin was, he just looks determined and continues to play the music and march forward towards that ending.
Thank you all for these wonderful descriptions and these self-reflections. I will take a moment out of play. Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a moment to breathe. If you have something to drink, please drink. But the Anarch will speak up.
To be able to quell your chaos, you must identify your shadow. Allow yourself to feel the chaos of emotions and thoughts that dwell within you. Investigate your wounds and inner turmoil objectively but with compassion. Focus on calming these emotions through meditation and breathing. Explore your shadow so it does not consume your thoughts and actions. Nurture yourself and your inner child through forgiveness of oneself and forgiveness of others.
You will not be able to find inner peace in this existence, but you have been shown what most refuse to acknowledge. I hope you understand and accept this very rare gift we have given you. Very few have ever been allowed entrance into our walls, but you helped save me from the claws of a slod, and I could not allow myself for you to perish through your incompetence to traverse the chaos of Limbo. Hopefully, at least understanding your chaos will help you control it, so you can traverse this plane more adeptly.
And everyone gains some boons from this experience. You can all add a d6 to any intelligence check to manipulate basic matter for 24 hours.
You have a one-time reroll to manipulate basic matter before the next long rest.
And you can choose to replace the intelligence check for any saving throw against unstable matter. Okay?
So if we say make a dex save, you can say, as something explodes around you, you can say, I want to use an intelligence check instead, and that would also have the d6 added to it. You do not have proficiency with it, but it is in a base intelligence check, just so everyone knows. But after Glark says this about thanking you and the severity of what you've been given the chance to experience, the Anarch continues.
Zerth, Glark speaks truth. You stepping into these walls is a feat most beings are not given privilege of. I warn you that Minar Ag requires your knowledge of our presence here, and especially the nature of our defenses, to be stricken from your mind permanently. You will retain this room and this lesson, but you will not remember us. This is a prevention for if your brain is ever devoured by a Gaik, what you refer to as an illithid and mind flayers. Do not know where we are or who we are.
I can't agree to that.
Why not?
Because the tenets of my god stipulate that no knowledge should be destroyed. Guard against ignorance means never allow knowledge to be destroyed.
This is not a request, so you should not question the Anarch, and beyond that, do not defy the will of Minar Ag.
I can't defy the will of Ogma.
It's in the interest of protecting them. It's ultimately the only way we can be sure they'll ever be safe. If the lessons we learned here, if the truly important knowledge we keep,
I can't.
You should know that this knowledge is not fully lost on the world. There are over 200,000 of us on Limbo, and our agents across many planes. Just because you do not know this knowledge does not mean that this knowledge is not known. But what happens if your knowledge feels the mind of an illithid, a Gaik? And our existence, those that created us to serve and slave onto them, know where we are. What does your knowledge then speak?
What if one of you is taken? It's no different.
It is different.
How?
Because our minds are so pristinely controlled that they will not take from our minds. It is our purpose in this chaos.
You can do that?
A strong-willed mind can do anything.
And can this be perhaps taught?
It
I
can.
don't mind
We
it being
have-
locked away. I understand, but perhaps Aisha.
It can, but it would take years.
Take the knowledge and lesson that you have learned here today in this room and go. But if you do not agree to this, then the only thing I can take from you is your life. That is not a threat, it is a mere fact.
Aisha, I don't think they're asking, they're telling.
If there are no further questions, my Zerth here will be here to answer them. I will speak to Minar Ag and return shortly.
And with that, the doors behind them open. The Anarch leaves, but the Zerth stays behind.
Aisha, I wish I could say something that could make you feel better. I know it's not easy. I can't even begin.
I just don't have a choice.
Right, which means you didn't do anything wrong. Because
No,
it wasn't
it
willful
does mean
ignorance.
that I'm still allowing knowledge to be destroyed.
So if you
But I don't
die,
have
it
a
won't be
choice,
destroyed?
So if it hurts me,
Are you supposed to die in this situation? Is that what Ogma wants? Ogma would rather you die than forget someone's name? or face?
As
Because
I
thought that if you die, you would lose that knowledge too, because you cease to exist to
As
retain
I
it.
was raised, do not allow any knowledge to be destroyed.
I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time understanding, because you're not doing that in this situation. So I think I'm just not understanding.
To be honest, I don't always understand it either. It's just I have these.
I ask, do you forget things ever? Are you capable of forgetting things you've experienced?
Forgetting things is natural. Destroying things is not. And what they're talking about doing is destroying this knowledge.
Against your will, though. So you're not willingly doing it.
But we are still learning and taking the experience.
They're saying if I don't agree to it, they'll kill me.
Right.
I have to agree, which means I have to willingly allow that
Yeah, but
knowledge
it's under
to be
duress.
destroyed.
It's not like you want this. Look,
I know it seems silly and stupid, but
It's
it's
not
all
that it
I
seems-
have.
To
It's not
die,
that it
though.
seems-
Like, I'm really curious to know if that's what you're supposed to do in these situations, according to Agma. Because
like it's just you can't. This isn't something we can help. If this was something we could help, I think it'd be different. But it's not like these guys are like understanding or terribly friendly. I mean, they helped us.
Did they?
That's a great question, but I'm trying not to think about that. I just want to go.
does dying count as destroying knowledge?
No.
Then what happens to the knowledge when you die?
Look, if
Where does it go?
I can't discuss with you why I think everything's going to be okay and why the knowledge isn't going anywhere, but I think we can probably guess why the knowledge isn't going anywhere. Because we aren't the only ones that are here.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Daisha,
It's fine.
Is there any way to ask Agma about it?
It's fine. We'll just do what they say.
Perhaps you should listen or pray to your god to ask and see if this will
I
be
don't know that
forgiven.
I can reach my god here.
But one way to tell.
This is the realm of his oppositional force.
It sounds like you're giving up before you even try. Have you learned nothing?
Everything's a little raw right now.
Understandable. As I said, this is not something easy to look at.
Shurvi comes forward and then just starts playing that simple tune right next to you. My dear, just deep breaths. Remember, one step at a time. You got this. I've barely known you for a short period, but you are probably one of the most strongest people I've met so far. It's not because you are willing to show your emotions or that you are physically strong. Let me tell you what my mother once told me. Being brave isn't about being willing to face danger and running off and seeking it out. Being brave, being courageous is knowing that you're scared, knowing that you're afraid, but willing to take that step forward and face it. And you're brave. I cannot even begin to understand what you all must have been through. But the fact that you are moving forward and you're here and you're willing to take that next step shows that you are capable, that you are brave, that you are strong. And every obstacle is something that you can overcome. You have this. You got this. And you have us here for you.
Seisha sits down and pulls out her journal and sits cross-legged, sets her journal in her lap and places her left hand on it and wraps her right hand around her holy symbol and closes her eyes and begins praying. Hugma, I don't even know if you can hear me right now. And I feel like I'm only coming to you when things are really bad, and I'm sorry for that. But I'm in a pickle. And, I'm really scared. I'm being asked to destroy knowledge that I have. And it's the right thing to do. To save these people, to keep them safe. But I feel like I'm hanging to everything by a thread right now, and I'm scared if I break the wrong thread, I'm gonna be lost. If you can hear me, just give me a sign that it's okay, if it's okay.
Okay. And your eyes are closed?
Yes.
Okay. You all hear very faintly. It's almost as if you feel it, or is almost like that chaos that is completely nullified within this fortress. That synesthesia of sound that was kind of like a feeling more so than a tone just kind of radiates within this room. You see that Glark kind of tilts his head ever so slightly, trying to perceive something, as you see him then cross his fingers, and steeple a few of them pointed up as he concentrates and closing his eyes, trying to feel something else in this room. And you hear, "You must listen to a lot of sad songs."
Too many.
And only Seisha can hear this. But you all, that tone is there. Why is it, despite how handsome I am, you don't want to look at me? And as you open your eyes and you look around the room, you do not see the dark-skinned, very handsome bardic man in the regal clothes with the lute over his back, until you look down into the mirror. And you see Agma in all of his resplendent glory once again.
Hi.
Hello. This isn't an informal call, I'm hoping. I hear your song. No knowledge is being destroyed. It's only being obfuscated.
Okay.
You said it yourself. It is the right thing to do. Remember the lessons you learned from the words of the savant. Some things are better left unknown to some to protect many. Plus, I'm not saying you should go against the will of Minyar Og, but there are ways around this. As a sly smile creeps across his face. But that is for later, not now.
I'm sorry I keep calling you like this.
I'm not. Well, there is the problem with your solar that is supposed to be guiding you.
Yeah. It's gotten worse. There's the mist of Agnes. It's, we're corrupted. And, I tried to go help him, and it went poorly.
Did you do it without gaining knowledge first?
I did.
That's okay. Hopefully all will be well soon. But I have other stories to tend to.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then fades away, and you all hear that tone just disappear from the room. And you all see Glarf come out of that meditation and goes, "What was that?"
That was Agma.
So he answered your call.
Very nice.
Yes. Yes, he did. And Seisha seems just at peace.
I knew he wouldn't want you dead. It just
You're
didn't
right,
make any
V.
sense.
I should listen to you more.
I don't know a lot about knowledge, but it just seemed like a lot.
Okay.
On an out-of-play note, if you all want to
Short rest.
short rest at this time, yeah, you so wish. I know you had a long rest and then not really used a lot of your things, but if you did use anything, go ahead. Or
More than welcome to short rest if you need to.
Anytime I can take a rest, I'm happy about it. I don't care if it's short, I don't care if it's long.
Always.
But it is shortly thereafter that the Anarch returns.
During that short rest,
Mm-hmm.
could I attempt to change Savard back to a butterfly from his will-o-wisp form?
yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence check. You have a D6 to add to it.
Alright.
Yeah.
25, natural 20.
Okay. Did you roll a D6 on top of it?
Yeah, I got a 1.
Oh.
But that is enough to will the form of Savard back to that of the skull pellet butterfly.
It's good to have you back.
But as it's being shaped, goodbye.
I will see you again.
And I will let you know, does not speak from here on out. But the goodbye was to say, like, can't talk anymore. But
Harold,
Yeah,
you okay?
great.
He says it's blatantly lying.
Yeah.
Just ready to go.
It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as the Anarch enters, she looks over at you all.
They have agreed.
I have spoken with the great Githzerai. And then looks to you, Shurvi. What you seek lies within the heart of the eternal storm.
Oh my god, thank you. How do I get there?
Looks to you, Seisha. You have the knowledge already. All you need to do is believe and move.
Okay, I'll do my best. Could I just at least get a general direction I can start? No, okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out.
You see the ground beneath you go back to sand, as it's almost like the glass shatters instantly into just 1,000 granules beneath your feet. It does not sink, you don't sink in, but it is not. It's like hard impacted beach now, as this map forms in the sand. But you can see that this map is ever changing and shifting, and you see pinpoints that you recognize, or at least you've encountered. And there are a couple of times where they slowly shift, and then they'll blink and just completely appear on other sides. You see these two rivers that coincide sort of near what looks to be the center, and although that seems to be kind of an apex point, their shifting and flowing forms just constantly wave throughout.
And on the far side is a ever-changing mass and a swirling vortex next to it. The elemental storm is the barrier between the plane of limbo and the elemental chaos itself.
And you can see just like the swirling vortex that kind of shifts and like gets stretched and moved along the edge of the elemental chaos, which is the plane that kind of bands all of the elemental planes together.
Are we supposed to go through that to go home? Or sorry, I'm not the brightest, I know, but I'm just trying to understand. My friends and I would like to be back home, back to our own place. Oh.
Minyar Ong says that your song lies there.
Okay.
In the eye of the storm.
You see initially this look of fear and uncertainty come up, and then instantly changes to resolve and determination. Okay. I'll go there then. Thank you.
We'll go there.
Oh no, but
Yeah.
please, sure
You're not going
have
alone. You're not going alone.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You must make a choice. You can either cross the river of eternity, the eternal sea, or the river of souls. Somewhere in the river, or somewhere in the eternal sea, is where the Slod themselves are birthed into existence. One can drown in the air itself. The only course to move through the eternal sea is to find the boatman. However, crossing either river will be easier, yet the consequences more dire.
I say we let Shurvi pick.
Me? No.
Maybe we should
I
help
don't know.
Shurvi pick
I
rather than
just
putting it all
want
on her shoulders.
I just want you all to be safe. This is my journey. I don't want you guys to be also hurt along the process. So whatever is the safest path. I don't need it to go faster. I've been on this path for so long. What's a couple more minutes here or there?
Why don't we try to find the boatman? It'll be more dangerous, but I think we could do with some less severe consequences right now.
Agreed, yes. And one thing you guys at this noticed right now, by the way, is just like how her vision had ended. You see, Shurvi has changed a little. Like her, even though she still has the silver hair, it's tipped in this fiery red. You see these markings slowly are appearing, faint on her face. And if you were to look closely, they're kind of almost writing it that kind of trace her journey from where she's been. But as you go deeper, it's like one of those images that as you go deeper and deeper, it just creates more and more images and more and more patterns. That's what's kind of like there now. She goes, okay, that sounds great. It'll be a journey.
How do we try to find this boatman?
He often finds you,
All right.
but it is the price he asks for as a ferryman. You may not be wanting to pay.
What price?
It varies. There is no easy way to traverse limbo. But hopefully now, you will not be consumed by it.
Hopefully.
If you do not mind, I ask that you genuflect onto your knees at this moment. The Anarch will modify your mind.
Vinley gets on her knees.
So does Shurvi.
Yeah, Harold will do it.
And
Does Seisha and V kneel?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And you watch as the Anarch walks up and touches each of you on the forehead. And the next thing you know, you are floating in limbo. Together. You remember the reflection of yourself and the lessons taught. You remember where you must go and what you must do. But you have no memory of the Githzerai or where they are located.
You remember speaking to Ogbud, but not fully for what. and you feel like Agma is guiding you out of limbo. That might be what your prayer was for.
Got it.
Okay.
And how you were bestowed this knowledge.
We should head to the heart.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Would this be considered as an object? The
heart?
location, the heart? No. Okay. Damn it. Never mind.
No. I know what you're thinking.
Just before we go any further, I'm really glad to be here with you guys.
I'm really glad to be with you guys, but just not here.
I kind of fall into the V boat with that one.
I'm just happy that I met all of you. I feel like we were going to be here regardless, but the fact that it was all of you, I'm grateful.
Let's go find your mom.
Oh, okay. And then she starts walking, and you can see her like playing the tunes again, kind of almost like second nature, kind of like fiddling with her instruments to kind of just as like a nervous tick almost, to calm herself down. And you, as it's happening, you see like in this space of synesthesia, I'm sure it starts changing into colors and other things, and you can see her like adjusting and trying to adjust her tune to this location and walking forward.
Seisha starts adding to the tune, just sort of humming words, not actually singing words, but like la da 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 da. And as she does, the notes come out and kind of blink through reality and turn into the taste of pixie piss.
And for KP, pixie piss is a drink. It's basically liquefied pixie sticks.
Okay.
Know what that is. Oh my God. He's out here thinking that Katie was just all get pissed on.
I was like,
Get pissed!
That's like that took a different trajectory.
Yep. It's a very, very fruity alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
Seisha
Fabulous.
loves this alcoholic beverage. It's her favorite.
But as you are playing, it's almost as if you're being pulled in a specific direction. The more you play, even to the point where you're not even being shifted or pulled in various directions like you were before, you are on a straight trajectory. And
There are multiple times where you come across, you're not being led by a Gith monk, Zareth, anymore. You do have to fight off some of the effects of limbo. And one of the things that you see as you're flying through limbo is there's a fight. You see those forms of combat once again, but you notice the two sentient rocks you met before. A swirling vortex of what looks to be paper, and a large pair of scissors where the blades are legs, and the scissors are fighting like a Taekwondo capoeira master.
Fuck you.
As they're all fighting over this pristine spot.
Can't let go of the rock, can you?
But as this is happening, you're just caught up in the chaotic vision that you're seeing as this swirling ray of like oubliette light comes rushing past you, and everybody make a dex save.
Fuck.
Okay. Can I make that an intelligence check instead, or is that a one-time thing? I can't remember.
Do what now?
Can I only change that to an intelligence check once?
No, anytime.
Anytime.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
And it's intelligence check, not saving throw.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, what you're thinking of, the one-time reroll is a one. Like you're like, oh, I botched that real bad. I want to use my reroll.
Oh, that's a 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reroll.
Oh.
Yeah, that type of situation.
16.
Yeah, you might want to reroll that.
Even a 16?
No, she got a 7.
Oh, goddamn!
Oof. I got a 21.
Nice.
Since this is an intelligence check, do I get a D6 on it?
I think this is a save, isn't it?
It's
Not
a
for
saving
me.
throw. Is
No,
what
you
it-
get
oh.
that to shape reality.
Yeah,
D6
so
is if you're
basically,
shaping reality.
yeah, if exchanging the intellect check for the save is what you saw Glarth do for you when you were flying, literally manipulated the matter around you all. So it's not
Got
a
it.
save against what is
You
hitting
literally are
you.
controlling limbo.
Yeah. So that's what if you want to do that, you could try and do that.
That's what I want to try. Does that get the D6 on top of it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Any intelligence check you made to resist or change matter in limbo gets a d6.
I think I'm happy with my 13. I'm gonna save that reroll.
And so,
Yeah,
you,
I'm saving my 21.
yeah, and so this array of color is like washes over you like this rainbow. What'd you get, Vinley?
13.
A 13. Seisha?
14
14.
for Dex.
Okay. KP or Shurvi?
16.
16. Harold
9.
and V
21.
21.
V has the lack of chaos in her mind that makes this place easy to deal with.
Right.
Oh, wait.
She's always somewhere else in her head, anyways.
They get the bonus from Seisha's aura of protection since they're doing saving throws.
If they're doing saving throws, they get
Yeah,
that.
if you rolled a saving throw, add
Wait.
3 to it.
Shit, I should have given Bardic Inspiration.
It is what
Wait,
it is.
would my... No, hold up. Would my initial song kind of count as that? So our little sing-along that we had leading up to here?
If you want that to count as that, yeah, that's fine. It's okay.
Okay, there you go.
So you
Y'all
have-
got Bardic Inspiration.
All right, so mark off 4 charges of Bardic Inspiration.
Yep. Yep.
What die do you use?
It's a D10.
D10.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use mine because I'm scared of a 13.
Okay.
17 now. For an
Okay.
intelligence.
Yay. V, would you like to? Or no?
No, V's good. She got a
I'm
21.
good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Oh, that's
with
right.
My
Oh, who-
21. I don't need her.
I rolled a
don't
9.
add
What are
anything.
you offering?
A D10.
A D10.
10
Sure, I'll take it.
And a plus 3 from Seisha.
and a plus 3.
I'll take that for sure. That makes it Oh.
Oh, no.
15.
Oh.
15?
Yay!
Okay.
There it is.
Hi everyone who forgot we were playing a Dungeons and Dragons game and we're just talking to each other. Hey.
And what did Seisha get?
14.
14. Seisha.
Yep, I need you to roll a D8.
Oh no.
6.
Then you make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That's Constitution dirty 20.
All right. As this light washes over everyone, there is a brief feeling of feeling everything that ever existed all at once, and then it vanishes almost as soon as it washes over you. Seisha, you feel your form begin to turn to stone. But you will your body and fight against it and push through, almost breaking off the pieces of stone as it's forming to keep your flesh intact. And as your eyes clear from this multitude of prismatic light, you're no longer in the sea of limbo that you once were, but instead stand on various platforms of elements. You look around and you are in the center of a swirling storm. As lightning of every color, you watch as the elements themselves morph and mutate. Vinley, you find yourself standing and being pulled into a mass of smoke and fog. Shurvi, you find yourself standing on this tiered platform. Various rocks and other elements shift and morph around you that float all around you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
V, you stand on the precipice of what can only be described as a floating diamond. Harold, you come down and you look and you slip and slide as the entire land that you are on is ice and crystalline, hard to balance and stand. And Seisha, you find yourself engulfed in water as it pulls you down. And that is where we're going to take our break.
No, it's not.
Damn.
We're saying no.
Rewind.
No.
Keep going.
There is no break tonight.
Thank you all so much for joining us for this first half. We cannot wait for you to join us for the second. If you have not done so already, please enter #Beyond #Eldritch for your chance to win an Eldritch Foundry miniature and a D&D Beyond Players Bundle. And we'll be back in about 15 to 20 minutes. And we're back. Hello and welcome. Ooh. Doesn't like that.
Okay.
Interesting. You know,
It's
chaos.
chaos.
it's chaos. Yep.
Well, speaking of chaos, our BFGs and the illustrious Shurvi, the bard across many planes, finds themselves in limbo. Now leaving.
Got it. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, just so everybody at home isn't seeing what we're saying. When certain light hits the map, it goes real chaotic. It's amazing. But they find themselves outside of Shukt Lore, the monastery of the Gith Zerai. Now, after seeing their true selves and having a better understanding of how to manipulate the chaos around them, as they made their way towards the rivers that cut through Limbo and towards the Eternal Sea, possibly to meet a ferryman across these rivers, they encountered this oubliette charismatic spray that tried to warp their forms as it almost took over Seisha, petrifying her, although she was able to will herself past it. But every single one was transported and into the eye of the eternal storm. And that is where the BFGs find themselves amongst the chaos. If everybody could please roll initiative amongst these floating platforms that do seem to have gravitational weight. Which is, whenever you would create a sanctuary, those gravitational weights would be there. And these platforms all seem to have that gravitational weight.
Nope.
And you notice that the platforms in themselves are this amoebic chaos that is constantly shifting between the elements and other things. As Seisha was standing on a platform, but then gets sunk into water. Vinley is now engulfed in smoke. Shurvi is upon solid rock.
Damn, I lucked out.
Yeah, and others are elsewhere, but I'll let you know soon. But what is everybody's initiative? Let's start with 25 to 20.
21.
Okay.
I win. What do I win?
You get to thwack first.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so
V was 21, Harold
V
was
is
20.
21. Harold
Shurvi
or
is 20.
Shurvi.
Shurvi, sorry.
Shurvi is 20.
I didn't hear a Shurvi verse.
It's okay. 20 to 15.
I got an 18.
20 or 15 to 10.
13.
10 to 5.
Oh.
And Seisha.
Oh no.
Sasha, what'd you get?
No.
A 3?
Oh,
A 3. A whole 3.
Good time.
that's a big number.
Something
Big ol'
could go
3.
after me. It's possible.
It is quite possible.
Not likely, but possible.
You watch, all of them are right behind you.
Right. Sorry. Where am I? Am I on
Hold
the map?
on, I'll let you know. My dice are still behind me, which do me no good.
Okay.
Somebody had to get out of their little hole, you know. Babs back in the back behind us there.
Thank you for running tech.
Yay!
Love you, mean it.
I got him.
You got both of them?
Yep.
Okay. And that one. Got it.
Okay. Vinley. V. Harold. Shurvi. Sasha.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm behind
Oh,
Shurvi.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and apologize for our on our side, our Zoom window. I don't know why the green screen is activating. It's not active. If you need to look at Twitch to see clearly, you're more than welcome to. It'll just be a little delayed. So that's for our end on our side, not you viewers out there. You guys see everything great.
Oh, it's so cool though. I like it.
It looks really weird. I love it.
It really lends itself to the setting. I feel like they're actually missing out with all the chaos that's happening
Yeah.
on our screen.
Yeah, they like it's fine, and then all of a sudden it's super not fine, and then it's fine again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So V, you're up first. There's not really anything around you. You can see that you are on this platform that is diamond, that just resonates, and I mean, you can kind of see through it, and it glistens, but you can see shards coming up kind of all around the area. As you go to move, or not move, but as you look around, you can see all of your other allies and friends on these other platforms, some of which are are not solid matter, and you see Vinley, but for the briefest moment before Vinley is sucked down into this cloud of just pure black or white smoke. Seisha is pulled into this swirling mass of water. But that is your that's what you see. There's not really anything to react to as of right now, just so you know.
Also, everything that is around you, there's this storm that is just this overwhelming cacophony of sounds, and that synesthesia that is, you know, everywhere that is in limbo. It just is extremely discordant and chaotic here, as it is bombarding you with all of these feelings, almost like being at a concert and being way too close to a speaker, as you can feel that resonating inside of you down to your bones, as it almost feels like your body is shaking apart, and you can taste and hear and feel and smell all of this. And it's not displeasant. It's just discordant. Nothing matches. It seems to be just slightly off. But V, it is your turn.
Yeah, so is anything happening to Vinley? She's most accessible to me.
You don't see Vinley. You see,
I see
saw her
cloud.
for a moment, and then she got pulled into this almost like hovering cloud.
Right, okay. Gosh, all right. So there's nothing to react to. I just sort of, I'm on guard. I ready an action and kind of look around. If you're talking to me, you're muted.
We're talking to Babs. You're good.
Oh, okay. I was like, I see a lot of movement, and I don't know if this is directed at me. Okay. So I don't see anything to fight or do necessarily.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good idea. Perceive something, V. All right.
Okay.
It'll be done rolling in a second.
Digital rolling's taking its time.
It's taking its sweet time. That's a 24 for perception.
24. Okay, yes. It's hard. At first, what was hard to see, you now, like, actively trying to get an awareness of your situation and your surroundings, you see moving towards you are those hateful eyes of the Blue Bear Barbarians as you see them forcing their will through this eternal storm. There's not a lot of them because it has taken a lot to get here, and you can see a couple of them, just on the cusp of these like torrential swirling vortexes. As lightning cuts through them, you see them just fry or explode or turn into bubbles. Just pure chaos. But you definitely see that a few are about to be upon you.
Okay. In that case, I get ready to potentially fight and want to, be in a defensive stance, just in case.
Okay,
Ready
so
in
you're
action?
ready in action?
Yeah.
Got it. Shurvi, you're up next. What do you do?
She looks around initially in confusion. Does she see any of this at all? Like, does she see any of them? Does she see anything? What?
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're
We're
good.
good.
You do your thing.
I was asking a question.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Just
What did you
kidding. We're just seeing if you knew that you asked a question.
Okay. Oh, okay.
No, what'd you say?
But no, I was asking, what does she see around her? Like, does she see them? Does she see what V just went through?
I mean, you can. V didn't go through anything. You
I
notice Vinley get sucked into the smoke. You see Seisha basically is in this amorphous form of water, just kind of suspended in there. And you see V, you see Harold, you see everyone. If you want to see more than what is around you, you'd have to make a perception check.
Okay. I'd like to do that first, please.
Okay.
I'll
Make a
do
perception check.
Perception. That is a nat 20.
Nat 20.
For a total of 20. For a total of 27.
Okay, you see these forms that you are not familiar with, but they all look similar to the way that V is dressed, although V has a lot more fine vestments. She adorns herself with the antlers, she has furs, carries weaponry that looks more, not primitive, but I would say primal. And you can see what you would identify as barbarians. And you can see that they have bear pelts dressed across them. With a natural 20, you also see that they have hateful, baneful eyes, and some of them look akin to zombies. Their form is withered away, Sunken skin, flesh torn away. You can see the gnarling, gnashing teeth just screaming out, although you can't hear them amongst the discordant, but you feel them and see that radiating red, hateful energy pulsing off of them through the synesthesia. You can see that, with a natural 20, you can see that all of the platforms that are around you are constantly shifting. You're not sure if the ones Vinley and Seisha are in are going to shift into solid matter or something else that could be detrimental, but you do see, just picking up, you can assess that all of this is shifting and you don't know what order it is because there is no order.
Yeah, and I will also say that, and this is for everybody, that there is a gravitational pull to each platform. So each platform has its own gravitational pull to it.
Yeah. But Shurvi,
Okay.
with the natural 20, something else you notice.
Oh.
There's something very strange about the area that you are in. You can't quite put your finger on it just quite yet. But as I said, there's that feeling of being near a speaker at a concert. You can feel it rattling in your bone. The synesthesia of the chaos around you feels like something familiar.
You see Shurvi kind of go, hello, is anybody there? Hello? And she tests her voice. Does it sound different?
It does not sound different.
Okay. You see her sit there for a second and kind of just look around, and she goes, oh gosh, okay, what would she do? Okay, oh, I know. With the those barbarians that are nearby, how are they near her? You said they're on a different platform near V, or
they are not on any of the platforms just yet, but they will be soon.
Okay. I will look at them and then start, as I notice that they're very angry and aggressive, I will use hypnotic pattern, which is I create a twisting pattern of colors that weave through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range. The pattern appears for a moment and vanishes. Each creature in the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration. While charmed by the spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0. So.
And what school of magic is that?
God damn it! It is illusion.
Illusion?
Illusion.
Okay, so you make the hypnotic pattern. Do me a favor and go ahead and just roll me a D100 and let me know what you get.
Okay, fudge. Okay, how do I do this in D&D Beyond?
On the bottom left-hand
Oh,
side.
I see it. Roll gets me 8.
8? All right, cool. Noted.
What does your charismatics, or not? Sorry, hypnotic pattern look like?
Yeah, I see them moving around, and you see her go around and start, initially starting slow on the notes, and as she goes, she picks up speed, and then you see her like tapping her foot, and basically builds up a beat. And mostly, it's not even like it's just her doing basic chords, but it's all about just building a beat, and each beat is a different color that starts up. And that kind of just starts coming together and weaving into this amazing pattern, almost as if though she's feeling herself at a concert, and she's imagining these group of people as her crowd, and they're now mesmerized by her music. And in this space, I can imagine actually that the hypnotic pattern actually has visual representation of musical notes. So it literally looks like notes flying off in different colors, and that's how I can see it coming together.
Okay, awesome. Yes. So we have to make a
Wisdom save.
Yes.
Not great.
Against. Ooh. And you need to beat a DC of 17.
So. Okay, yeah. So you see two of them that are about to be on one of the platforms just completely get taken over by this. And it's not how you usually expect them. It's not like just being overtaken by this euphoric sound or visuals that you manifest. No. What you create...
Mind you, the range... Sorry, I was going to say the range of this 30-foot cube is up to 120 feet. So it can be 120 feet away. So I don't know if that changes anything.
You still get two of them. There's not like a whole lot of them, but you do manage to get two of them caught in this. As you see your musical notes made manifest into real, actual, tangible things. And you expect this hypnotic pattern to... It does stay in this area, but much like Dancing Lights works, much like Dancing Light works, where it can take on the form of humanoids, you kind of see your music take on the form of this orchestra, all playing individual pieces from your instruments. But they're there.
Okay.
Yes.
They, as in, like, how do I see them? Like, do I see their shape? Do they look familiar?
You did not describe them as actually having a shape, so they are more so just generic shapes.
Okay.
But you seize... With that thought process, though, you have an idea that, you could possibly make things a little bit more to your liking.
Okay.
So that was your action.
Yes. What can I do bonus action-wise? Come on, go away. ¿Dónde estás? Actions, bonus actions. Oh, yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay, that is Shurvi's turn. It is now
Limbo's turn.
Limbo's turn.
Limbo doesn't need a turn. Limbo's good.
Go ahead and you know what? Let's kick it off. Okay, who do we want to roll it? Let's have. You know what? It was such a beautiful thing. Ethan, go ahead and roll me a D100 and a D20.
Okie dokie. D20 is a 12. D100 is a 45.
12 and 45. So you're looking for 45.
Yep, I got it. 45.
Okay, your entire platform goes completely dark. You have...
It doesn't matter to you.
Doesn't matter to everybody else. You see just his entire platform, that whole area just goes like magical darkness was just cast. It is like the lights in that entire area just go away, vanish. It's almost as if Harold disappears. That whole entire area just becomes a void of light.
Yep.
Huh. That's weird.
Yep. Harold, the lights get a little bit dimmer.
Yep.
Yeah. I can tell that there's the spell here, but I'm like, I'll just leave it.
All right.
Coming up
1,
soon.
2, 3, 4, 5. Vinley, I need you to make me an intelligence check. You can add a D6 to it.
I'm gonna need that D6. Okay. 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You feel the smoke area that you're in begin to solidify.
Of course you're doing that. She just says out loud.
And make it an intelligence saving throw, not an intelligence check. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Does that change? Keep what you rolled. Just add your proficiency bonus.
Keep what I rolled.
Yeah,
Let's see.
minus the
Or wait
d6.
for the
Minus the
bonus.
d6.
Alright, so that's 8 plus 9 is... It would be a 17 minus the d6.
And a 17 is enough as you feel it begin to solidify, but you push your will against it so that you're not encased in stone.
Oh, I...
So that is that's the layer action. It is now their turn.
Yep. Two of them are in stupor.
Yep. And kind of everybody now notices kind of pulling and moving towards this central location. Seisha, you would notice first that they are actually almost like flying and moving through limbo like everyone does. They're actually flying above this location and then immediately get pulled down into the gravitational pull of these platforms.
Okay.
As you see these barbarians get pulled onto the various platforms.
Are these, they're revenants still, right?
Mm-hmm. These are the Revenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and V1 lands right next to you, so your readied action will go off.
Kill it.
Do you want me to hit them now?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make the attack roll.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are we doing this now?
It's okay.
Okay.
Vinley, you are
Oh my gosh.
on deck. Harold, you're in the hole.
Is there a way to take off the rolling animation?
Yes, there is, but you have to go into your dice settings.
Okay.
in D&D
Well, I rolled a
so-
29 to hit, so
Yeah, that definitely hits.
pretty sure I hit. So we'll wait for the damage.
That's the big one.
All right, what did you...
9 points of damage. I haven't raged yet.
Nope, you have not.
Because I don't think that I had time to do that.
Sorry, you have a second attack.
Okay.
And these are not extraplanar beings.
Okay.
And you see as it lands, almost like superhero landing style, as it lands, you see the diamond actually slice into the calf of it as it lands down onto this. Doesn't even seem to react.
12 to hit. I'm assuming doesn't hit.
12 slams into it, but you see that it does not do any damage. But, or more so, you cut into it, and you watch as it heals faster before that damage of that hit does anything worth anything.
Yep.
Okay.
You were very close.
And the rest of you, Vinley, you feel something move past you, but you can't quite see because you can see nothing but smoke
No,
in
it's
front of
solidified.
you. No, it did not solidify. She passed the save.
Got it. Okay.
So,
I thought she pushed herself from the rock.
no.
Okay.
So that's what you want to do. It's fine. I don't care. It's fine. Okay. That is there. Anybody else attacking? I can't see the map.
Yeah, they're all on people.
Okay, got it.
Except for Seisha, because
It's been a while since we were remote, so apologize, y'all. We're so used to being at the table again. Completely forgot how to be remote.
Seisha's will have to make a save.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, save, bitch.
It is failed.
Blood,
Okay.
baby.
It is,
I'm not bitter.
Grappled. Okay, it does nothing.
You watch as it also just gets sunk into the center of this aquan form, and it just seems to be trying to fight against it, screaming out in rage as you... There are no bubbles that escape because it needs no air to breathe, but...
Yep. All right. Shurvi, attack against you is a 18 to hit.
Oh, that... Where's my thing? I'm a jiggers. That hits, yes. Absolutely.
All right. That is a... You're going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Second attack is an 18 on the die, and you'll take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouchie wawa. Okay.
And although it has like these hateful eyes, its vengeance does not seem to be focused on you at this moment. In its mindless undead stupor, you are just an object of limbo that it is fighting against currently.
Yep. And you actually watch as all of them on the platforms that you are, Harold, the one that you're on, it's going to miss twice. I didn't roll above a 12 to hit.
Can it see?
It cannot, but it feels you next to it, which is why I rolled disadvantage on both attacks, and it doesn't even, it just whiffs.
You easily seeing it just... It's more so not going for you, just raging out against the chaos that is Limbo. It seems like it's fighting against with every bit of will in its being, and you just so happen to be in the area, but being able to see through any darkness, you're just dodging very easily around its attacks.
You also see that it, like, where it's standing, the base of its feet have begun to freeze, and so its movements are sluggish while it's standing on this ice platform. The rest of you who can see the person in front of you, you actually watch as actually, like, just swings mindlessly and then tries to move away. Doesn't have any more movement left, but is starting to move away from you all. That is their turn. Vinley, it is your turn.
All right. Vinley feels the thing like land behind her, still in the mist and the smoke. She turns around thinking about what the Gitzerai, but she doesn't know. She doesn't remember.
Yep.
But she remembers that weird feeling about not letting herself feel any of her negative emotions. And she just turns to this form, whatever it is, says, I am sick and tired of little creatures like you getting in my way. And she's going to manipulate the smoke to turn into jagged pieces of iron everywhere it touches this creature and stick into it like an Iron Maiden.
Got it.
I love it. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Remember to roll a d6.
Always. Okay, hot, a 14.
This is just basic. You're not trying to do anything that is, wildly, beyond reason. So these, just making shards, easy enough as you just turn all of the smoke basically into turning this barbarian undead into a pincushion as multiple blades pierce through it.
Yep. And while this is happening, I need you to make a con save, as you are
Absolutely.
inhaling smoke.
Yeah. Did I do that thing where I turn it into an...
Don't forget you have a D10.
I already used it.
Bert, oh, you used it?
Yeah.
Yes, you can choose to do one or the other, but we ask that you make that choice before the roll.
It's fine. I'll take this roll. It's an 8.
Okay. You become you cough. You gain a level of exhaustion from inhaling smoke.
That's some nasty smoke.
It's like being trapped in a house that's burning down around
Yeah.
you, inhaling that smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with the remainder of her turn, she just turns and walks away.
But because of the save you made earlier, you're able to manipulate your way out of the smoke despite breathing it in. As you feel it begin to solidify as you pull yourself up out of the smoke, but because you have basically pinned this barbarian in it, it cannot get out, and it is completely solidified as you hear it just be crushed to death.
As the smoke solidifies to rock.
That went better than expected.
That's your action, your movement. You have a bonus action.
Bonus action, she just tells Savar to stay on her shoulder no matter what.
Okay.
Shurvi,
Yes.
you watch as your orchestra
Mm-hmm.
we both rolled then.
Oh,
begins.
no.
No. Begins. What's it doing?
The two that are in it, you actually watch as it actually turns in and begins to, like, impale them with the various notes that are in it.
Oh,
As it
No.
makes 2 attacks, 1 against each one. Yeah, that hits. That hits.
And I know you're worried because the way hypnotic pattern typically works is that if it is injured or shaken awake, they awaken from their stupor. However, it is the spell itself that is doing this injury, as it has become a living spell within the chaos.
It is now a living hypnotic pattern.
And these things are just being impaled by these musical notes amongst the chaos while still completely enamored by this music. Where it's that feeling of music that being like trapped in a car with too much bass, you start seeing coagulated blood begin to pour out of their ears and their nose as their bones are literally being rattled apart from this hypnotic pattern.
Yep, one takes 23, one takes 28 points of force damage. Yeah.
So I'm just to be clear, my spell is doing damage to these things that were okay.
Yep. They're trapped inside of it.
I think like at that point, like Shurvi sees that and goes, I'm sorry, that wasn't what's supposed to happen, but I can't stop it once I cast it. I'm sorry, I hope it... Oh, no. Oh, no, someone help them, I guess. I don't know. And then just like stares at them. It's not my turn yet, right?
No. That's just what's happening. That's its turn.
Yeah, it got its own initiative.
Yep. Harold.
I'm sure it's not going to be a problem later on.
There's still one next to me.
There is. You can see that its attention is... It's looking up. Even through the darkness, it is looking up, and you see it's trying to move. It's very slow. It hasn't quite started to move yet, because it has no movement, but in the sense you can see it trying to push almost past you as something else. It is being pulled, like, something else is driving it to another point.
Harold, also make a perception check for me.
Sure.
It's Kevin.
15.
15. You do not notice it as much as Shurvi because natural 20s and all. But there is something about the chaos around you that seems to call to you. Something just amongst the discordant chaos.
There's something familiar.
Yeah.
do I like familiar in what way? Is it like a? I guess that wouldn't make any sense because I could feel everything, so it wouldn't be anything I could pin
If
down.
you want to try and focus on it, you can make an intelligence check
sure.
to see if you can,
Maybe an investigation.
or even an investigation.
Sure.
This intelligence check would not get the D6. You're not trying to
Right.
manipulate.
I assumed as much. That's okay. I'll give it a shot. Why not? 10. I don't know what's going on.
Again, there's something familiar with what is going on around you, but you just can't quite pinpoint what that is.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Before that happens, I need you to make a con save.
Yep. Fail 5.
The ice under you begins to freeze, and you can see that part of you begins to become encapsulated in ice. You are considered restrained.
I'll take an intelligence check as my action to make the area around me not icy.
Okay.
Got it.
Go ahead and give me...
Well, tell us what you're trying to do, because that will also determine the DC.
The floors will become a nice, clean tile, and I will,
You in that bathroom!
and anywhere I go, I will be stepping on tile instead of ice. It's
Okay.
just like a circle underneath me.
Got it.
And so I rolled a 15 on the D20, and then, so 16 total
16?
with my D6.
Got it. So there is you have 15-foot radius of control of this. That area around you will be able to be, the ice just kind of lays flat and morphs into a polished white tile.
Yep.
Wherever you want to move.
Does that also unfreeze my legs?
It does.
Yep.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
I'm going to casually walk to the edge, far away from that thing, and kind of like peer out to where the others are. And I'm just like I have already tried this turn, so I can't do it any more than I already have. But he's trying to figure out what the hell that is they're looking at and trying to get to, and whether or not he can get something specific going for himself here. One of you's submerged in water, right, Seisha?
Yep.
It's always water.
Is she within 60 feet of me?
Yes. I can just tell by looking.
I will shout to her, all right, well, it's probably time for you to get out of the water. I got your back. You can do this. And I give you bardic inspiration.
You hear muffled, but it's enough. Yeah, it's Harold.
I don't know. That whole area is still darkness, but you hear something that could be Harold.
Yeah. There's this like almost movement through the water, and just at your ear, there's just this pop as a burst of bubble pops in your ear, and you hear Harold's voice give you the bardic inspiration.
I want to say, even like with the pop, the water morphs and takes on the forms of these words, as you may not be able to hear them audibly, but because of the synesthesia, you see them.
Yep. You got subtitles.
I got subtitles.
That's Harold. That's a great. You want to move anywhere?
I already moved to
Oh, you
where
moved?
I
Okay,
was.
cool.
moved to the
He's
edge.
on
got
the
it.
edge, just like,
And you do see everyone, because the only person that is currently swallowed by anything that is obfuscating is Seisha.
Yep. That brings us to Seisha.
Okay. Seisha is going to... She wants to get out of this water, so she is going to basically kind of roll so that her back is facing the bottom of the pool. Is it floating just like a drop, basically?
Yep, exactly like that.
Okay,
But
perfect.
before you do anything, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
No. Let's see. Okay, that's plus strength. 17.
You feel like whatever this gravitational pull is, like pushing against you to keep your arms, and you can see the Revenant in front of you struggling to get out, to even like move. But you power through it, and now you can do what you wanted to do.
Okay. She rolls so that her back is towards the bottom and exhales and uses the bubbles basically as a jet stream to push her further down, and lets the weight of her armor and this jet stream push her through the bottom of this water droplet. And If she starts to fall, she'll pop her wings. If she just floats, she's going to sort of turn so that her feet are against the water and start walking up the water.
Okay. As you come out of the bottom, I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Natty 20 plus 5, 25.
Woo! That is enough. You can feel yourself being pulled towards this platform. And it's taking every ounce of what you learned to find that focus to stay hovering under it. You do not need to pop your wings.
Okay.
And you can walk across this water with the natural 20 to go to the top if you so wish.
Yep.
I would like to, yes.
And you easily do.
Mark this as inside like that.
Thanks, Harold.
And you see, Harold, you see Seisha standing upon a undulating water droplet.
I would give you a thumbs up, but you can't see it.
I feel it.
That's good.
All right, that is Seisha. Anything with your bonus action?
Hang on, let me look at the map real quick. My guy is still trapped inside the water.
Yes.
I'm good.
Okay, is that you?
Yeah.
All right, the second layer action. Welcome to Limbo.
It gets 2?
It does.
It has a layer action on a 20 and a layer action on 1.
See, I told you it could go after me.
Sure. 5.
All right. No, it's...
Oh.
All of a sudden you watch, coming from this wall, are dozens of cyclones of pure chaotic energy. I need everybody to make dexterity or intelligence saving throws. Your choice.
Or
intelligence checks. If
Just
you wanna...
reminder, anytime there's a save, typically in this combat, you can change it.
Okay.
And just tell us what your total is, whatever you're using. Nobody is getting Seisha's benefit.
Yep, and I mean, they descend upon this platform and just move through everyone.
Oh, I'll do a dex saving throw.
Okay. Vinley, what'd you get?
Nice.
I got a 28 intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Seisha.
15 intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Shurvi.
24 dex saving.
Nice. Harold.
Oh.
My dex saving throw is
8.
Okay.
8. Okay. And V.
I got a dex saving throw of 18.
Okay.
All right.
Harold. As you watch everybody kind of taking in and assessing your surroundings and also just trying to figure out what is that feeling that just feels so familiar, unlike everybody else that somehow finds a way to anchor themselves upon their platforms. You're just taken by surprise as you feel yourself being engulfed in the cyclone and you disappear from existence.
1, 2. This one up here.
I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
So Harold just...
Oh, and reappear on the one up there as you find yourself now falling into a droplet of acid.
Oh,
dope.
Harold's going down just like...
God damn it.
Thumbs up, stone face.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so pick and choose.
Jesus.
All right, and then 2 of the revenants fail. So they are now in different areas. The one that Devin just moved, that's to the right side, lands in one that is magma, lava. It falls and begins to be consumed in
Very slowly.
lava. Devin's worst nightmare.
God, it's the worst. You watch as their feet just land on what looks to be a solid platform, but then the leathers and furs just ignite with flames at their feet as it's almost like quicksand slowly engulfing their form. Pure nightmare fuel.
Yep. Oh yeah. Okay.
Can I say what happens to the revenant that appears before Vinley?
Sure. It's
Okay.
solid stone currently.
I know. But Vinley, in her rage after killing the last bear, whips her head towards the cyclone, and the cyclone all of a sudden grows two hands, holds them up like, whoa, sorry, and then reaches inside of itself and pulls out the revenant bear tribe member and just like pushes him towards Vinley, like, here, take this instead, and then dissipates.
All right.
Okay.
Devin's face.
Okay. You're talking about the one that you pincushioned, right?
No, the cyclone that was coming after Vinley
Uh-huh.
grows two hands, holds them up like, whoa, sorry, didn't mean to do that.
Okay.
Reaches into itself, pulls out the revenant bear tribe member and pushes it towards Vinley, like, here, take this instead.
Okay,
And
okay. I thought you were taking the other revenant and pushing it towards the revenant and being like, this is yours. You drop this. But no, it's the opposite. Okay. The one that's in the lava takes
100 points of damage.
Ooh.
It doesn't look happy at all.
it burns away to almost all of its flesh being melted off, and you just see charred skeleton screaming and raging out. That is not good.
That sucks. All right, V, it's your turn.
Harold, did you Harold
Okay.
went into the asset?
That's right. I
but-
believe it is the start of his turn.
Okay,
I'm
start of
just
your
making
turn.
a little mental note that the next time I need to terrorize Devin, I just have to involve lava.
It
Oh,
doesn't get me like Dustin and spiders, but just thinking about it, it's like, ugh.
Duly noted.
All right. So is anyone on my platform?
Yes, you
Can't
still are
see
engaged
through
with
the
the other
cloud.
one.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit the other one.
Okay,
I'm gonna rage,
fair.
and we're gonna do that. I always attack recklessly because of who I am as a person. And that first is gonna be a it's a 25. It hits.
25 hits.
And then the damage. I'm also just gonna. Yeah, that's fine. We'll roll the damage. Wait on that. I don't know why it's going so slowly. That's 12 for the first hit.
Okay.
12 points damage for the first hit. Second one is
Big money, no whammies.
The suspense is killing me.
28 to hit.
28
The damage
hits.
is
I just imagine that V is for some reason just swinging so slow.
In slow motion.
and then that's 16 points of damage for the second hit.
Got it.
Rolled really high.
Why is she swinging so slow?
Yeah, like the perception because of the chaos. Everyone's like, "Why is V moving so slowly? Why are they reacting so slowly?"
Hey V, go ahead and roll. I'll roll a D100.
That might take a minute.
Okay, Katie,
the
Katie, let me walk
2d10s.
you through this real fast. Hang on. Go click on manage next to your character name.
Okay, because it definitely wasn't in the dice settings. I already checked that.
No, I got you. Click on manage. Then click on
26.
character settings.
Shurvi?
26.
So
Got
that's
it.
a 26.
Goblin, will you just put the instructions in the chat?
Yeah.
Thank you. 26 on the D100. Got it.
I heard
Right.
money.
It
And
is
then
your
what?
turn.
Oh, it's now my turn.
It's in
Ooh.
chat now.
All
But then I
right.
won't be able to roll at all.
You'll still be able to roll. It just won't do the animation, I
They're
think.
not in the.
No,
in the thing that
it
they're-
takes
Oh, no, you're right.
The case.
Yeah.
Takes it
the-
away.
They should be in there.
Huh? I'm not getting that though. Like I don't when I do rolls like
Yeah. Sweet.
unless I do the bottom thing that has like the dice thing that pops up. The only way it rolls is if I do that, but outside of that, it doesn't roll. So But while that's happening, okay, so can I ask again? I'm still having this weird, almost like deja vu feeling that I feel something.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation. Oh, that's an 11.
Even like when the chaotic cyclones moved through, there was even something with that just triggered something familiar. But there's a lot of chaos happening.
Okay. At that moment, you see Shurvi seeing all of this, and then the lessons from her vision that she had back with Mr. G, and he just of them basically trying to use that moment to kind of help them deal with this chaos, right? And so she kind of like closes her eyes and then imagines this chaos as discordant notes that are just flying everywhere, and then it just tries to imagine them coming together onto like a sheet music and trying to become a cohesive song. And basically what she's trying to do is order this chaos similar to how they would have done in her own way, to find perhaps some sort of a pattern, something that kind of makes her understand why there's this familiarity. Is that something she could do?
I need you to make me an intelligence check.
Oh God! Of all the things, fuck.
It's a good thing.
Yes. I don't have any bonuses for my intent.
Add 6
I'm gonna
to it,
use
don't
my
you?
free.
You gonna use your free reroll?
I'm gonna use my free reroll because I got a 6.
Okay.
So. Wait, hold up. Did I just click it? Same thing again? There's no way I got it this time. I got a 6 twice. Are you shitting me?
You
can add a
you do add a
D6
6
to
to it, yeah.
Sure, I'll add a D6. I'll roll a D6. Let's see what'll happen. That is a 9 total.
A 9 total.
Mm-hmm.
Shurvi, also KP.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Although Shurvi, there's a moment where you have this realization, and you can hear woodwinds along those cyclones, that you can hear the tail ends of them fading away. You start hearing the percussions of lightning striking through the waves of torrent storm around you, and there is a discord. But what is music if not harmony from chaos? And just as you figure this out, it becomes too much, and it's almost like notes are slightly off, like playing flats when it should be sharps and things like that, as it all just slips away from you.
Okay. And you see her like pull back, but I think she at this point understands what kind of needs to be done, and she yells out, imagining as if though she has a megaphone or something that can reach out to all of our compatriots that are out there, and just yells out, we need to organize, we need to get this chaos back into order. Otherwise we're not going to go anywhere. Harold, sheet music. And that's all like she yells out.
Okay.
Hoping like, think of this all as sheet music that we need to come together. You're a performer, you know.
Sort of, yeah, I guess.
Compose your own song.
Sure. Oh, I know just the one.
Harold, we will say that because you had that familiar feeling and you couldn't put the pieces together, Shurvi saying this kind of pulls at that musician inside of you. And although you say, sure, you start to kind of hear it yourself. Good job, KP.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. You know what? The end of your turn. Roll me a d6.
Okay.
You get to choose the next
Oh
layer.
god. Oh, okay. D6. Okay, open that. Open, you bastard. There you go. That is going to be a 5.
All right. Once again, that chaotic energy forms into these cyclones as it rushes around everyone. I need everybody to make dexterity saving throws.
Ah, that was a bad thing. Oh
intelligence
god.
saving
Okay.
throws, or intelligence checks if you so wish.
Was there dex in that?
Yes, dex
competition?
save, intelligence
Okay.
save, or intelligence check.
Oh,
If neither of those work out for you. That brings us Vinley.
But before that, V,
Oh yeah.
as you rage out, you see the ethereal forms of your ancestors. And just like that happened before when you fought the blue slad, they become solidified forms.
Oh, we getting minis.
Oh.
I get a family.
At least one of us does.
They're gonna hang out with me.
At least someone in this damn party has a family.
Yeah, someone's gotta
Right.
get the slack. Harold!
Harold lost his family again.
There, now you can see it.
Again. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he had a family briefly.
they're all going to attack this barbarian that is around you. As everybody tell us your saves.
21 for Shurvi.
Okay, Vinley,
18 intelligence save.
Seisha,
24 intelligence save.
Harold,
20 dex.
okay, and V.
19 dexterity.
Let's roll some.
Ooh,
Boom.
natural 20.
Nope.
Hit.
Okay. 3 failed on my end.
Oh wait, the natural 20 was the family members, right?
Yeah, for attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I was rolling.
Yeah, I'm also doing that.
I know you're doing that. I got this.
Everybody passed except for barbarians.
Oh yay.
Oh, yay.
And you just see all of your ancestors move together as one. But this time, their blades and damaging all taking effect as spears from your grandfather, the axe from your grandmother, and then the cleaver just coming in and burying into the spine of this creature as they all just grab on and rip this undead apart.
Cool.
In my mind, one of them whispers, "The Harpers send their regards."
Okay, that is that from that layer. Did everybody pass the layer action?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, nobody gets.
Nobody got below a 20.
Oh wow, no musical chairs for you guys. Barbarians go. Yep, lava guy, he's done. He dead. Another one comes out of the cyclone into the acid by you,
another one?
Harold.
Yep.
Is the chaos randomly rolled it.
Here,
Takes takes some acid damage.
the one on Shurvi spends its movement and action to get up to you, but cannot attack. As it is as it's climbing up, again, it does not seem focused on you. Its vision is higher. You just so happen to be in its way.
Yep.
Next turn.
It's gonna take some acid damage, and you see it almost try to push itself out. It'll make an intelligence save. It actually hit the DC on the nose.
Ooh.
It actually pulls itself out of the acid and begins to float upwards.
Can we see anything that they're trying to aim for?
Make a perception check.
I would love to.
Can I make one as well?
Sure.
22.
22?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you get, Vinley?
16.
16? There's nothing. I mean, there's a storm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Vidley, it is your turn.
So there's one. There's none on my platform.
Nope, it got gobbled up by the cyclone.
There's one by Shurvi though, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
Do we have... Oh, sorry.
Finley thinks about.
I will remind you, you all have telepathic bond. You keep screaming into the ether.
I
but
don't.
You did
She
have
cast
telepathic.
it without me in it the second time.
Oh, did you not put her in it the second time? That was just connecting with the Anarch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't think I was in it.
Yeah.
Do we need to combine the platforms of opposite elements?
I don't think Finley is in a place to receive what you just said.
Received did not compute.
Yeah, I think Finley just
Marked as red.
Left you on red.
So, what is
Vinley
Vinley doing?
walks to the edge of her platform, looking at Shurvi confused after what she said about turning the chaos into order. And she just shakes her head and goes, I think I quite like the chaos. And she's going to attempt to change that boulder next to that revenant
Okay.
into grasping vines of acid to attempt to reach out and grab that bear.
Okay, got it. Go ahead and make your intelligence check.
$18.
On the nose.
Yep. As you're trying to do something a little bit more than just making blades this time. And it will make a dex save.
Strength save.
Strength save. Yeah. That's good.
+7.
15.
15 is what it needed. So it will take half of this acid damage. Do it. Go ahead and roll 6d6.
Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go. 19.
19. Okay, and it wraps it up. It breaks away from it as the acid just splashes. You can see parts of it begin to melt and dissolve the skin, kind of revealing the bone beneath it. But that burning hatred, again, doesn't even seem like it's intent on Shurvi, but Shurvi's just in the way of it.
Right.
So.
And then with Finley's remaining movement, she just sits down and hangs her feet off the side of the platform.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I will say you are considered prone.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine.
Shurvi, you watch as your hypnotic pattern rends the two barbarians asunder.
Oh no.
Let's see. 1d6. 3. 1, 2, 3. That's in dark man.
No, that's in darkness.
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold, I need a wisdom saving throw as hypnotic pattern begins to form around you. As it casts hypnotic pattern.
10.
You have advantage. It is a charming effect.
Okay, cool. 10.
What's your spell save DC, Shurvi?
My
It's like 17. It's very high.
17, yeah, 17.
The barbarian.
As you all see hypnotic pattern cast.
Hypnotic pattern.
Oh, I see it casted?
Yes.
Yes.
I counterspell it.
Okay. What
It's
type
third.
of-
Oh yeah.
Oh no, does that kill?
What type of spell is abjuration, correct?
Well, hypnotic pattern?
No.
It was
Or-
illusion.
Counter
Yeah, no,
spell.
Counterspell.
Counterspell is abjuration, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I cast it with a warlock spell, so it's 4th level.
Okay, and you cancel it, and as you send it out, you slice the hypnotic pattern to pieces, but shards come flying towards you.
Okay.
And it'll do this damage.
Yep.
Go ahead and make me a. Actually, I'll roll the hit to see if this hits you. Roll a d20.
Got it.
That's it.
15.
Does a 15 hit?
Just hits me.
Okay. You'll take 20 points of force damage as it just you dispel it, or you counter it, but you literally shred it, and it turns into like mini razor blades that just pummel you.
Okay, don't counter spells. Don't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Hold on. Because it would have been that entire area, a roll. It fails. The barbarian also takes that damage.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it took 20 as well.
But the spell after it hits the area dissipates.
Yeah, it's gone. That is the living spell. It is now Harold's turn.
At the start of his turn.
At the start of your turn, you're in acid. It sucks. You take 21 acid damage. And now you can take your turn.
Well, I get out of the acid. I'm assuming I can get out of the acid?
You can make a check to swim out of the acid, or you can make an intelligence check to manipulate the acid.
I'm just going to have to make an intelligence check to manipulate the acid. Let's do that. Hey, all right. That makes a 21 for my manipulation.
Absolutely. And you're now standing on clean tile on top of the acid.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to take it a step further this time.
Do it.
Yeah,
do it.
go ahead.
I'm going to turn the acid into a bunch of automated instruments that are all going to begin to play music that I think pertains to whatever this familiar feeling I have is, whatever that feeling brings to me in song. No, you know what? No, it plays Dance Macabre. Because that's the song, it's the only one I can think of right now.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a performance check with advantage.
30.
Okay, as you begin to do this, you can see the wall of chaos surrounding this eye begin to shift.
And what you see is like this torrential storm begins to smooth out, and these lightning bolts just course through it. And as they just keep coursing through it, you can see 4 lines.
And if you're talking about sheet music, I think it's 5.
5 lines, yes. There are 5 lines of just chaotic lightning forming out. And as you're playing this music, you can start to hear those discordant beats and off tones shift into something that harmonizes.
All right.
That is a success.
Oh, yeah.
That is...
But as a performer, you now know the music has begun. And Shurvi, you hear this as well. You feel that harmonizing, just being a bard. But you also know the performance, the music has begun.
All right. That's Harold's turn. Its turn. Its turn.
Oh yeah, that thing.
No, I don't like the way you said that.
You watch as the chaos begins to form and morph and pull into itself and take shape as it rises up. This undulated mass of elemental chaos as it looks down on UV.
You can see just every form, just like the shifting platforms, moving and coursing through it. Lightning, coursing through the cracks of lava that then seep out into mist and smoke that drip down into water and it solidifies into ice. It looks like it's sweating, but it could be acid or poison, as just everything that is the elemental chaos is making up this amoebic humanoid form.
It's gonna roll
I hate it.
as mass of chaos hits out at you. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do that. Ooh, that is a 21 or 24 to hit you. 23 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, roll a d8
I don't
for
wear
me.
armor.
Roll a d8.
Alright.
How much is your AC?
2.
How much is your AC?
16.
Whew.
I don't wear armor.
I know. I'm just
I'm
walking.
doing
I make
math.
up for it in health.
Yeah.
I have 108 health.
Oh
You
my
said
god.
it was 18 is what you said it was?
16 is my armor class, and I
16.
rolled a 2 on the d8, by the way.
So they hit a 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely hit
So
like over
5.
16.
The odds are not
He's
great.
debating cutting words.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
debating.
I
trying
see,
to
I
help
see.
you out.
Well, I don't know what the d8 did, but I got 2.
Wait, let me try. I mean, hell, I might as well try.
Bookmarks. Sorry, my document is crashing. You take fire damage. It's fire damage.
Oh,
But Harold says he might try because
am I
within
within 60 feet to cutting words?
Ooh, I don't think so.
I don't
Okay.
think you're close enough.
All right, no worries.
Acid, not fire. Acid. Yeah, wow. It's not loading on my
Okay, boom. Right. Yeah, I got it.
All right.
How much damage?
Did you roll your, or was
He's
he close?
too
enough?
far away.
Too far away. Got it. 19 acid damage.
19?
Yep, 19 acid damage.
Even though I'm raging, does that have?
Does not have. Only
Okay.
bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing halves for you.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
Is that a single target?
Single target. Yep.
Yep,
So
okay.
that is its turn. It is now
Seisha's turn.
Seisha's turn.
Okay. Seisha is going to. Seisha's going to walk to the edge of this water orb and draw her sword, and she leans forward and she is going to force the water to basically crest in a wave that is going to carry her over to where this thing is and propel her, and she's going to attack it as she reaches it.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Natural 20.
Got it. You create this
That's a
slide.
22.
You create the slide as just like, and
plus
brace
6.
yourself as it just slips down. You're going towards V in the chaos elemental, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and you come right next to it.
And I want to attack it twice.
Okay. Attack it twice.
That is a, I think I'm plus 7. Yeah. That is a 21 and a 22 to hit.
21 and 22 both hit.
Okay. I'm going to smite on the first one to see how smite works here.
Okay.
So it's going to be 4 plus 3, so that's 7. 11, 16 radiant.
Go ahead and roll a d8.
Okay. 8.
It is not radiant. It is force damage.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. I need to roll to see what it's immune to this round. Okay, cool. So this round it is over here. Okay. All right, good. You hit it with force damage, not radiant damage.
As you slam into this thing with your blade, made to damage things that are objects. This is not an object; it is a creature, but it hits it almost as if it is an object, where your smite just radiates out in this thundering sound that sunders through the stone that is making up parts of this being.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna smite on the second attack, because it went fairly well. 11, 18 plus 6, 24, 27 damage.
Roll a d8.
7.
Wild. As this time it courses through, and you see as it stabs into this creature, the energy that flows off from your smite rolls up through the cracks like the lightning that's running through it, as you see it all radiate up into its mind and explode in psychic damage.
Nice.
What?
It was 26, 27?
27, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 27.
Okay. It doesn't seem to really be doing much to it. Like, it's taking it, but not as much as it should.
Okay.
I
All right.
don't like that.
That's Seisha's
No,
turn.
I get it. It's okay.
Seisha, roll a d6.
Uh-oh.
3.
All right.
I was gonna have this, but yeah, sure. What's going on?
That's what it was.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, that's
Got
what
it.
it is.
Cool. I got it.
Okay.
Water over here shifts to acid.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Earth here and here shifts to this diamond.
Earth to diamond, yep.
Diamond shifts to ice.
Yep.
Ice shifts to water.
I can't see who's on it.
No one. V is on ice.
Okay.
Shurvi and Vinley are on diamond. Harold, your acid that you are now standing upon, but the barbarian is standing within. What is red?
Lava.
Magma.
Right.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
being engulfed in magma is way worse than standing on it.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
And you watch the magma platform shift to smoke.
All right.
As all of these platforms just absorb the chaos around them and begin to morph and change.
Yep. V, I need a con save from you.
Roll as well.
One moment.
They pass. Yeah, they pass.
Is it not one?
You can
I'm
reroll.
re-rolling it. I'm re-rolling it. I'm re-rolling it. That was bad. That's my re-roll. Thanks, guys. And now it's a 25.
Nice.
All right. You are not encased in ice.
So you changed your con save into a re-roll, which is fine, of your intelligence save, but that gives you manipulation of the matter.
Yep.
So what are you manipulating it?
Yep.
The ice?
Yep.
Yeah, the ice around you. You can do something with it. You feel yourself become encased in this ice as it's just becoming so frigidly cold. But what does V do with that?
Is there any way I can, like, make the ice, like, shatter into a bunch of like little dagger things that hit my enemies around me.
Sounds great. So as
Yay.
it forms up around you, you all watch V just become completely encased in ice. As she then just screams out, yeah, there you go. And it just becomes this torrent storm of ice blades towards this elemental chaos being.
Go ahead and roll me 4d6.
Yep. Ooh, that's looking. Holy shit. 17.
All right.
That's 3 5s.
That is nice. Very nice. And you just pummel it, and it staggers back a bit. It took a lot from that cold damage.
Hell yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that cold damage seemed to do a little bit more than what it should
We
have
have
done.
to attack it with the platforms, with the things here, I think.
Okay, so we gotta use the elements to hit it.
Yes, we have to use the chaos here to attack it.
Okay.
That was
Kill it
the
with its
layers.
own weapon.
Yep, now we're V.
And then that was...
And now it's
Now
V's
it's
turn.
me again.
Now it's your turn, yeah.
Alright, well, crap. Do I have any other elements to throw at it around me?
You could use your action to try and manipulate the matter more.
Yeah, just make more of the.
Okay, I'll try to do it again in a way.
Okay,
What?
make an
how would you
intelligence
describe-
check.
Okay, an intelligence check,
Yep,
but
with
I
a D6.
add a d6 to it.
Mhm.
Okay. Do that plus this. Oh, it's nat 20.
Yeah!
So I'm not even adding the d6. Unless you want me to.
No.
You know what? Fine, do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
add a
Yeah, why
D6.
not?
Yeah.
Tell us what the full total is, just because it's fun.
Okay.
Did you get a 6?
6.
26. All right. Go ahead and roll me your axe damage as if you critted.
So that is
Oh,
going to
yes,
be
okay.
a D12 maxed, and then another D12, and then brutal critical.
Yep.
You're also a paladin now. Do you want to put a smite on it?
No,
Do it.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
not yet,
yeah.
not yet. Okay,
Oh,
not
no,
yet.
you can't
I
smite
don't,
yet.
no, I don't have smite
No,
yet.
not yet.
I
Oh,
just
okay,
have my
that's
on
the
hand.
second level.
Okay, so I have a solid 12, and then I add my damage that I rolled to
Yep.
that, correct?
Correct.
I always get so confused with that. Okay, so that's gonna be 25 points of damage.
And you, I want to say, like, drag your blade, Kin's edge, across as the ice just freezes up around this. And you
Can I,
jump
like,
up into
tennis
the
it?
air. And as you slam into this thing,
Sing us that swan song.
Yeah! Okay. So here's what we do. So I create the ice thingies, right? And I like throw it up in the air like I'm surfing it with tennis, and I hit the side of the axe with it, and it makes the ice like shatter into a bunch more spikes that just like and make them Swiss cheese.
awesome. Yeah, so like I said, the blade drags, but with the up kick and the jump, you just bring up this this ice spike and then cut through it as it just slams into this creature. And you watch as all of the magma that was taking up most of its form just begin to cool and solidify. But just like erosion in earth, this rapid cooling of this causes the rock to just crumble and break away as it is shattered into pieces. And you took care of that chaos element real quick.
Boom.
Yep.
You're like, yeah, well,
Great job. Yay.
yay!
Chaos.
You're welcome, everybody.
Things happen.
It was, yep.
All right. That is V's turn. Shurvi.
Okay. So I think she's going to add at this point to Harold's music that he was playing, and kind of weave together, like, she starts really thinking about when she was a chaotic little child, when she was running around, and either having her little tantrums or having her, emotional outbursts, how her youngest mom, the Cobalt, would bring her in and sing us really soothing song. Nothing orderly per se, but something to kind of tame that inner chaos in her, that inner wildness in her, to bring her down, to keep, give a little peace, right? And she starts playing that beat and that music, and kind of tries to weave it into what Harold is already doing. And once again, she's imagining all of these notes coming down orderly onto sheet music, because that would be part of what her first mom would be doing, is making sure everything's orderly, making sure everything is followed by according to how it's written. So taking these two elements of being soothing and yet orderly at the same time, and bringing all this chaos into some sort of a pattern, some sort of a readable sheet of music, is what she will try to attempt.
Got it. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Okay, let's go. Oh, this is going to be a good one. That is a 23.
23. Okay. As you're playing this, you start seeing just small explosions in the, like, where the lightning is coursing around this torrential storm that's swirling around you. You can see bigger explosions that kind of take up, just full of fire and flame, that look to take up a whole area. And then smaller collisions and sparks of other things that kind of just go in an ascending and descending pattern that are quicker and faster, just like little flashes of pulsing lights. And you start to see what looks to be, as a musician, you can see musical notes, whole notes, half notes, eighths, sixteenths, all being formed out of the chaos that's around you.
Okay.
And you start to hear the harmony of chaos around you. That is a second success.
Say that again?
That's a second success.
Okay, so we need to make more. Okay, God.
right.
Oh, dear gods. And that's basically what she'll probably try doing. Actually, as she's playing this, and it seems like all of these things are trying to ascend somewhere, right? Where was it that they were trying to ascend to?
You can see the one that's right in front of you, still looking up, just with hate. And
can I notice where exactly it's looking?
Go ahead and make another perception check.
Okay. Perception check. Come on, give me something. Ooh, 12?
It's looking up. You're not really certain. You're mainly focusing on this wall of sheet music being made out of the elements themselves. Can't really notice exactly or precisely where it's looking. It's up, you know that.
Question for the DMs. Or maybe I should wait for my turn. Never mind.
Okay.
Well, then what she's going to then start doing, because it seems like there's something above her. She doesn't know exactly what it is. She's going to start walking in that upward direction, almost as if though these sheet musics are coming below her and creating platforms underneath her that she can then step on as she's going up and up to the next. Oh no, not even sheet. Sorry, like little mini stages, like a little stage that comes underneath. That each step allows her to get to the top in that direction.
A crescendo of stages, if you will. Go ahead and make a
intelligence check.
Yep,
with a D6.
Okay. Oh boy. Please don't fall. Please, where's my intelligence? There we go. That is a 15 on the regular die, and then a D6 add on to that would make it an 18 total.
18 is enough to create some stages to step and walk up as you begin to walk up, playing your one-person band.
Yep.
All right. Player action. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay.
Boys, you get her. She's on the little platform.
Yep. V, I need you to roll me a D100 and a D20.
2 separate rolls? I don't
2
add them
separate
together.
rolls.
Okay.
I need to know what is on each of them.
Okay, well, the D100 is a 29.
Okay.
D20 is... Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. A 10.
Okay. All right. Noted.
Hey!
You're still considered
Alive.
medium, but you're now over 8 feet tall as you begin to grow in size.
Okay, so
You're
just have a
not-
little growth spurt.
Yep. You're not large size,
Yeah.
but you're definitely noticeably taller.
Yeah, I'm like as tall as that, like a Goliath, like a tall Goliath dude.
Yeah.
You're
I'd
as
say,
tall as your father.
Probably. And that guy we met at that games.
Oh, yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth, Goblin. You might be as tall as your dad, if not an inch or two taller.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
That is that one. The ancestors.
My clothes go from large to XL all of a sudden. It's very tight fitting.
We'll see if they're frozen.
That one's gonna be gone. That one's gonna be gone.
No, they're good. They're
I
not.
already rolled.
Okay, good.
So, go ahead and make an intelligence check for them.
Ooh, 17 on the die.
Got it.
So you watch as your ancestors just move and meet that barbarian head on as they engage in the fisticuffs.
You see them kind of do what you did as they slice into the ice, and it just becomes these platforms that they just start raging and running towards. Shurvi, at first you think they're coming for you, as they then slide in across the diamond and surround this barbarian.
You do notice that some of them that they get cut up moving through the diamond. So, barbarians, sorry, there's no one engaged on them. Right? No actual barbarians on anybody.
Nope.
Okay, great.
Nope.
Your ancestors fight with the Blue Bear Barbarian Revenants. Vinley, it's your turn.
All right, so there are no active combatants other than what is being engaged by.
Currently, there might be more.
You can definitely see more of the Revenant Barbarians in the eye of the storm, hovering, moving across. It looked like they could get pulled onto the platforms.
But I also see Shurvi trying to go up as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Very well. Vinley scooches further towards the edge of the diamond, precariously placing most of her body at this point off of the edge of this platform, and she just sadly looks down and thinks about the lesson that she learned once again and thinks, you want me to be honest? Okay. I hate myself, but I can still change. And she pushes up and wills the diamond beneath her to carry her higher and higher.
Okay, go ahead and make that intelligence check with a d6.
Okay. A 19.
19.
Where are you going?
I'm going to try and meet Shurvi in the middle of the air.
You move up.
With my own stage of diamond.
Yes, the pillar beneath you just slowly raises as you hear this very unearthly sound of what takes millennia of diamond to grow happen in an instant.
She smiles at that.
What are they? Diamond 2? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That is Vinley.
Does that that was your action to manipulate it? You have bonus if you so wish.
Bonus action, she'll actually just send Savard over to Shurvi.
Okay.
And have Savard's wings flap in beat to the music that Shurvi is playing.
Okay. So Shurvi, you see this little blue butterfly that has this little skull design motif on the wings. And that lands on your shoulder and begins to beat its wings to the beat.
Yay! Does that give me anything?
It does not.
Okay.
The warm fuzzies.
Yep, a warm
Yeah,
feeling.
the warm fuzzies. Yay.
Ooh, how about this? The beat of the Savard's wings through the synesthesia sounds like a metronome rather than feels like wings beating against your face. So you keep perfectly in time.
I like that.
You want to grab something to replicate it?
It's 10
feet.
within 10 feet. Oh, okay, got it.
Which it can get there. So the living hypnotic pattern moves to where Harold and Seisha are.
Not
Harold.
Harold.
Oh, no.
V and Seisha, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And
what now?
The living spell has come to us.
There is a cacophony of musical notes that are attacking you.
As this orchestra moves towards you, and just the sound of their music, both of them make one attack to you each, and both hit.
Okay.
All right. V.
That's a lot of dice.
For both of us, you know?
17 points of force damage. And Seisha, 20 points of force damage.
No.
As it's like being just bombarded, you can feel your pulse being changed by the bass that is just sundering your form.
Harold, it's your turn.
Sorry, I had to grab a Peabody. All right. He doesn't ever meow, and he started screaming at me. He was like, "Ah!" He never meows. He never meows. So cute.
He's singing.
Okay, so what should I do? Yeah, you're trying to stay on beat with me, aren't you? Let's stay on beat. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my action to perform more.
All right. Sounds
Hope that
great.
my music doesn't kill anybody.
Yep. Are you pulling out your accordion?
Yeah, I would. I would assume so.
Great.
Yes.
Of course, yeah. I don't know if you were singing before or what.
No, I
Okay.
assumed it was all
Accordion.
accordion.
Great.
Do I still have advantage on this or no?
No, it was.
Yeah. You would just regular this time.
Got it.
It was because you created that orchestra for that turn
All
that
right,
gave you that bonus.
22.
22. That is another success. Seisha, it is currently your turn.
Yep.
Okay,
that was your
so
action. Harold, do you want to do
do-
anything with your bonus action or move?
No, I'm
Okay.
golden.
Great.
Hold on.
You just continue with this.
He is on magma.
Oh, that's right. You are standing on magma. You sure you don't want to move?
Well, I mean, I will move if I'm sure I take the damage regardless because I started in it. But I would move out of magma, sure.
Let me see. Is it start your turn? I think it is. Start of your turn. Yep. It's hot. It's real hot. It's real hot. Not too
This is
bad.
probably gonna drop me, guys.
You take 30 points of fire damage.
Yeah, it drops me.
Okay, so you did
take
not
away
get
that
to play the
success, yeah.
music. Yeah.
Mhm.
You did. I would say you did not get to play the music.
Yep, because that would have been at the start of your turn.
Right.
So you all see Harold fall and begin to slowly be submerged into magma.
No.
Seisha, it's your turn.
Okay, not trusting chance. Seisha is going to move herself over to where Harold is, and she's going to reach into the magma and pull him out of it as she casts Healing Hands on him.
I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw to move from one platform to the other. You feel that gravitational pull trying to keep you onto that platform.
Using my reroll.
Okay.
That was a good use. Intelligence, dirty 20.
And that is exactly what you needed to be able to move off of this platform.
Well, used her reroll, so as you feel like you go to move off, but you feel just your platform pull you back, how do you manipulate the matter in order to move to the next platform?
I am standing on acid, correct?
You're standing on ice.
Ice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I'm picturing is the ice starts to creep up her leg, and she looks down at it and shakes her head, and the ice sort of comes out and fractalizes even further, and it begins to multiply further and further away from itself so that it opens up around her leg as the ice grows out into little, like, hoarfrost crystals. And she moves forward out of that.
Okay, so you're creating a bridge or, like, staircase out of ice?
Yeah.
Okay, and move over to Harold, and you grab Harold and pick him up out of the magma, and you say you're using Healing Hands, your Asimar ability?
Yes.
Okay.
How much does that heal me?
10 hit points.
Thank you.
All right.
She is reaching into the lava, though.
She is reaching into the lava. It is... You're going to take... I'm just going to roll it. It burns a lot. I got it. It's
Okay.
It's what it is on here.
Got it.
Deal with
Okay.
18.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even roll for the other one. I was like, he's gone.
All right, so...
Oh, that was a lot of dice.
What we have been doing is because it's so many, we roll one and just kind of do a multiple. So now we're rolling all of them because this could be a make or break.
You're going to take 53 points of fire damage.
Roll a d6.
I don't need to. I have 52 hit points.
Okay. I will say that as you're pulling Harold out...
Spirit shield?
Oh.
Yeah?
No, because I was intentionally reaching into lava. I wasn't attacked.
Yeah, no,
You
it's
couldn't
not an
save you
attack.
from yourself?
Nothing can save me from myself.
I will say that in this action, there is a self-sacrifice as your Healing Hands does go through as you pull Harold out, but you yourself are succumb to the heat.
Yep.
But yes, please go ahead and roll that d6.
Okay.
1.
This isn't good because we're both just gonna fall right back in the lava. And
Well, no, because I pulled you out and then fell backwards, so you're falling on top of me.
Yeah.
I'm not standing in the magma.
Okay.
You see Harold as you come to. You see Seisha, just her whole arm just singed, and it's gross looking to the point it's making you like gag at watching her arm degloves.
Gross.
Mm-hmm. As you both fall back onto the ice platform that she has created.
Okay.
At the end of Seisha's turn, layer action number 2. What?
Okay.
Yeah. Seisha, go ahead and roll a d10. Let me know the number you get.
2.
2?
Yes.
if you have a total, your current hit point total is even.
That would be 48.
Does 0 count as even?
It
I was
is.
about to say, this brings up a very interesting mathematical
Yes,
question
we would
that I
say
don't-
that the numerical number gifted to us by, I believe, the Arabics in actual history will be considered even.
Yep. So 0 is even. So if your current hit point total is even, you heal 28 hit points.
Woo! Yeah.
So Harold, you were at 10 hit points, so you heal 28.
Oh, wow.
By the way, correction, the 0 was discovered by a Hindu astronomer and mathematician named Brahmagupta
Oh, there you go.
in 620
Wow.
in 628.
What an
Nice.
amazing trivia knowledge right there. That's awesome.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Awesome.
Sorry. How much do you heal if you're uneven number?
28.
28.
Okay.
If you were
Heck
even,
yeah, I'm at
28.
72, baby.
There you go. Yep.
Plus 28 is 100.
Did anybody not
everybody?
heal?
Huh?
Did
Wait,
anybody
was
not
that
heal?
for
There you
everybody?
go.
No, honey, you're at 0. You heal. Weren't you?
I was.
Yours
I
wasn't
no,
even-
I was
Yeah.
good.
No,
What?
no, Rhea's
No,
up.
I'm at full.
Billy's
Oh.
up. Yeah.
I haven't taken a single point of hit points.
Yeah.
I have an odd
I
I just
I'm
picture
at-
Seisha waking up and looking at her skinless arm.
What did that?
I could lay on hands for 5.
Oh,
and I got odd number health hit points.
I
Oh.
also have odd.
It was all in the roll. Welcome to chaos,
Made it to
baby.
the people who needed it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. V, it's your turn. There's no immediate threat aside from the barbarian that your ancestors are going against, the revenant your ancestors are going against.
I mean, I guess I could help out with that.
Okay. Go ahead and
Yeah.
make me an intelligence check or saving throw, your choice, with a d6.
Then Shurvi, you're coming up next.
Alright, intelligence
Just
check.
letting you know, I did get I have an odd hit point. I have 53.
That's okay. You just didn't get healed.
Okay, I didn't know.
No,
Okay,
you just.
all right. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
No negative to odds. Just didn't get the healing.
Okay, y'all been playing that in a very hard and fast way, so I didn't know.
But
So
Like
dirty
it's going to
20.
happen on
dirty
default.
20.
It's
Okay.
exactly what you needed to move platforms.
Get out of town.
Yeah.
Yep, as you
Okay.
jump and just leap over and head over there and go ahead and make your 2 attack rolls as you land next to this revenant fighting your ancestors.
Alright, heck yeah.
That's right. How much?
I'm gonna attack recklessly as always because I like
15.
advantage.
Oh, there goes low.
And then
And you're gonna take, just so you know, 13 points of slashing damage, halved to 6 for moving through the diamonds.
alright, so it's 25 to hit.
25 hits.
And the first hit's gonna be 21 points of damage.
Go ahead and just sing us that swan song with
Okay.
your ancestors. As
Gosh, what does this thing look like again?
an undead barbarian with like burning coals for eyes.
Oh, jeez. Well, I feel like, my ancestors are like, going a little ham on this guy, and I just show up and I'm just like, yep, in the eye. And he just died because we're going to assume he was already low.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
You come
And ceremoniously just like, boop.
like coming in with the axe, but not coming in, and just taking the pommel and driving it into the
Yeah.
eye, bringing it down and pinning it into the ground. But the head hits one of the diamond shards and just cracks open like a watermelon as you pull it back up.
Yeah, you make it cooler. But yeah, that pretty much is what I said. So.
And all of your ancestors cry out with you.
We live, we die!
Yeah, you
We
get-
live, we die.
And Shurvi, you hear like this barbarian rage beneath you of this chanting tantra? Yeah. I think that's the word. Yeah. But beneath you.
No, that's something else.
No. Mantra.
Mantra?
Mantra.
Okay. Tantric is kind of well, I guess
That's very different.
Tantric. No. I mean, tantric is more of like black magic.
Yeah.
Not necessarily black, but like it is a form of magic, but
Shurvi,
it
your
has
turn.
bad connotations. Okay. I'm gonna keep going up and keep playing my song, man.
All right. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Okay. Oh God, come on, baby. Performance is a 14. Oh, that was a nat 1.
Did you use your reroll already?
But I thought that was only for intelligence rolls, and I did use it.
Yeah,
No, 'cause
this is
it's
not
a reroll to manipulate.
This isn't really manipulating matter. This is harmonizing the chaos. It's a little different.
Okay.
Wait, I remember double checking. I remember when Harold played, he got an advantage. Did I get an advantage last time? I don't think I got an advantage.
No, it was because
Unless
he
you didn't-
created an orchestra.
Okay. All right.
I mean, she kind
So,
of
yeah,
is
that was
an
an-
orchestra.
I'm a walking orchestra. I'm a full-on goddamn band, man.
Whole ass band.
If you would like to try, no, because your action is performance.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's it, I guess. It
well,
was a nat
Go
1
ahead
for a
and
total of
make an intelligence
total of
check.
14.
Yeah, go ahead and make it.
Rolled a
Okay.
1 and got a 14.
Well, because I have a 13 in performance. So, okay, just a straight intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 17.
Go ahead and
Do I add the 6 to this?
you add the 6 to it. It's an intelligence check.
Okay. Hold up. Oh god. With 18 total.
18. Go ahead and reroll
Yes.
your performance check.
Woo! Okay,
And
come
tell
on,
us
baby.
how you manipulate the chaos.
Reminding you that in the center of all of these platforms is your hypnotic pattern.
I essentially, and I feel like at this point, she is trying to encompass anything that is chaotic in here, right? And part of that chaos is this hypnotic pattern that completely went out of control, and is basically she's trying to soothe this hypnotic pattern and trying to like just come back to what it's supposed to be, not be this chaotic thing. So I got a 29 total.
A 29 total.
Yes.
As
Oh wait, shoot! I did persuasion. I clicked the wrong one, but it's same thing. It would have been the same thing.
Okay,
It would have
yeah,
been
that's fine.
plus 13. Yeah.
as long
Yes.
as the modifier's the same, doesn't matter.
Yep.
And as V takes down this form, as Seisha is pulling Harold out of the magma to find respite on this platform of ice, as Vinley is rocketing up into the air with you, you start seeing this torrent storm just creating this amazing percussion and music where the explosions, if someone were to have perfect pitch, could pick out exactly what notes are being played. And as you manipulate the chaos, you turn it from being discordant into harmonious. And you all hear the entire area around you go from pure chaos into a symphony that is the most chaotic yet beautiful song you've ever heard, as it continues and everything becomes one. As this happens, you see a funnel begin to pour in from the top, like a centrifuge within this eye of the storm, where everything should be calm. And from that starts this torrent of mist pouring in from the edges of this elemental storm, begins to take shape and solidifies into this grand citadel as everything else washes away and the chaotic music that was everywhere is now just walls of mist. The song continues to play, and all of your platforms solidify into elegant platforms of this grand, like almost cathedral citadel. And Shurvi, you feel godlike power imbued within you.
What? Okay. What? Okay. Okay.
And you have you have the power to do one thing of anything you want. What does Shurvi wish?
Oh boy. Oh. I think at this point, does she gain any knowledge on how all of us can make it to safety first? I think that's the first thing she thinks about is how can I get my friends to safety? How can I come out of this situation and bring them out of this?
You do not have to make this choice right now. If you want to talk to them real quickly before you make your decision, you can.
Is everybody okay?
And you're all in different platforms, but you can easily get to each other if you so wish.
I
Relatively.
think about it. And I bring the platforms into one, like make it into one giant platform.
It does not work anymore. You are.
Oh.
You realize that you know in your being, although there's that harmonious music that almost sounds like Gregorian chant that's very low now, emanating from the mists that are hundreds and hundreds of feet away from you. You are no longer in limbo.
Oh. I think we're out of it.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't taste my thoughts anymore.
Oh yeah. I don't know how I feel weird.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'm going into shock.
Don't
You know that feeling you get when you got used to being on a boat, and then you like get on land, and then you're like, whoa.
Shurvi, why do you feel?
What's wrong, Shurvi?
I feel like I can do anything. I don't know. I can't describe it, but I think
the best way to describe
see
it
her.
would be chaos perfectly harmonized within you. It's not your spirit balanced, but what you did has solidified within you.
Okay. And it doesn't quite, so, oh gosh, okay. She goes, I think I may have found a way. I think I might have found my home.
What?
My parents. I think.
That's
I don't know. I
amazing.
can't describe it. I could try it. I don't know. I really don't know what this is, or it's just one more step in the process. But
Vinley walks up to Shurvi and grabs her hands, like, very jarringly. You said you can do anything, Shurvi, so do it. Find your family.
Calm down.
And you see her, like, laughing and, like, tears welling up and start crying. And she goes, okay, let me try.
Wait, just in case, before you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Seisha walks over and she holds her arms out for a second and then looks down at them and casts lay on hands on her arms. So she's gonna use all 40 out of 45 to heal.
Okay.
And then she holds her arms out to Shurvi for a hug.
Harold will also come in and hug if Shurvi hugs.
Yeah. Shuri goes around and then, like, just, like, I guess at this point, like, dog piles into them. And it's just like, I don't know yet. And you could see like there's still that level of uncertainty. Just like it's like that thing where like, is this for real? Is this really going to happen? Is this finally about to happen? Kind of a feeling. And then she goes, I don't know what'll happen if I don't know what'll happen if I try this, or if I'll just go somewhere else, or I really don't know. I really don't know what's going
That's
to
why I
happen.
wanted a
But
hug first.
and then she kind of pats herself down, and then she pulls off the kazoo that she had on her, and then hands it to Seisha. And then she has like other like small instruments, like she has the not a harp. It looks like a little mini harmonica,
Pan flute?
and pan flute, and then like gives that to Harold, and then gives like the clackers, the castanets that she has to V, and she has like little mini cymbals and gives that to Benley. And she goes, I don't know if they'll be useful, maybe, but maybe something to remember me by. It was great meeting all of you.
meeting
And
you
then
too.
she turns to Seisha and she goes, don't forget the note.
Zoo sounds.
Hey, Shurvi, give your mom a hug for me.
I'll do my best.
Tell all of them they did a wonderful job.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. Okay. I'll try it now, I think. And then she kind of steps back and she goes, I hope you find your own home soon. And then wishes for her to be with her family. The one thing she's always wanted, to be together with and find her parents if possible, or at least whatever the next step would be to get her there, if it's not directly the path there.
Okay. I want to ask Shurvi what she appears. You all watch as the song that played in Limbo echoes out away from Shurvi as she just dissipates into ambient light and sound. Just like raindrops washing away in the wind. And Shurvi, you appear at your home. In the world you left ages and ages ago, and she is outside. What does she do?
In front, I would imagine, is this almost like a, not really an encampment.
Shurvi's outside, clarification.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So in front of her, it looks like a tiny little, not a hut, kind of like one of those wood cabins. And outside, she would see like the typical, like the clothesline with clothing, if there was some. That's what she remembers her home like, is a tiny little cabin in the woods with like clothing lines outside, and a place for campfire, where she remembers them playing music at night. I would imagine there's a small little shed that's kind of like a repair shed, where like a storage shed where they go in to repair their tools, repair their instruments. And then, yeah, that's just a simple place, but it's got color. It's got flags everywhere. It's got all these little trinkets strewn about from all of their adventures. And is there smoke coming out of the chimney?
There is the slightest bit. Not like it's fully on right now.
She slowly takes steps to the front door and hesitates to open it, and stands there for almost like, seems like 10 minutes. And she opens the door, and without really taking into account anything, she just says in an audible voice, I'm home.
You do not get a response.
I'm home. And then before she does anything, she looks at the doorstep, looks into the empty cabin, and she goes, "One more step," and steps through and closes the door behind her.
And as you step through, you see that things have changed. But as you call out, you do not hear anybody return. And you go to see who was cooking. And you see that there are very light embers still left. But what you do find on the table is a note.
Is a stack of notes.
I pick it up with shaky hands.
And you start
And
reading
start-
through them, and they are letters of apologies, saying that they are sorry they left you alone for so long. Can't wait to see you. And you start reading and said, "We have learned that you have gone looking for us, so we went looking for you. We can't wait to hear your songs and your stories." And resting under what you moved aside like quickly, or was covered by one of the notes, is a strange looking metal bar that forks off and twists around itself as you recognize a tuning fork. And one of the last letters says,
"Come find us."
You see Shuri's grip tight on those notes and start laughing and crying. And then takes the notes, hugs them close to her chest for a bit before taking the tuning fork and then tapping it once.
with that little bit of chaotic energy with your wish spell to find your family, the planar shift spell goes off, and Shurvi's story continues somewhere else in the cosmos.
As the BFGs find themselves staring at the front gate of the Citadel of Mists. And that is where we're going to end tonight's story.
Oh. Oh, my heart!
Shurvi!
Shurvi! Oh, my heart!
Thank you for joining us on this slightly longer episode. If you have not entered already, enter #Beyond and #Eldritch for your chance to win a player's bundle or an Eldritch Foundry miniature. We cannot thank you enough, KP, for joining us in these amazing 2 episodes of chaos. There you go. That's what was happening. We should have described them as
there you go.
icosahedrons.
Freaking cool.
I love that thing.
But Shurvi was amazing. We also want to say
Thank you.
we know that Bleed was deep tonight, but we want to thank you so much for going on this thought experiment of true self-reflection that people need to do.
Wonderful, wonderful episode. Thank you, KP. Thank you,
Thank you
everyone,
guys so
Yes.
much.
for an incredible episode, bringing a little bit of order to chaos. But we're going to pull winners.
Oh, my goodness. I love Shurvi so much.
Oh,
I know,
thank you.
she's so great, and I love her design.
So when are you
much.
coming back?
Plot twist, I'm your mom.
Please, yes.
Well, I'm gonna spoil Rhea's secret here. Rhea hit me with this at the start of tonight, and she was like, "Hey, I have a theory." I'm like, "What's that?" And she goes, "Shurvi's actually Seisha's sister. They have the same last mom." And I was like, "Oh, why would you do that to me?"
I would love that though.
Why would you put
Yeah.
that in my head? It's
I mean-
perfect.
All right, we have our winners. Winner of the D&D Beyond Players Bundle is Tone Mand.
Tone Man, yes. And the winner,
fitting.
And the winner of the Eldritch Foundry miniature is Ruin Rendier.
So congratulations to you. I'll be in touch this week to get you those. And again, thank you all so much for joining us. Be excellent to each other.
May you always roll with advantage.
Good night, everybody.